Jay Thomas Show at Howard 101. Rodney Lee Conover is in the ha-ha seat today. Jill is back in New York with Sean Kelly and Garrett Andritz. Of course, don't forget, Ira the Weatherman will be here in a few minutes. And last night, of course, Barack Obama gave that big speech. And I don't know about you, but if you hate him, I'm sure that you're sending out emails to all of your friends or whatever. People that I haven't talked to in years, guys' dads, who I guess are big. I mean, my father-in-law is a big liberal, and he sits there and he makes T-shirts and reads all the fucking blogs and all that stuff, And so I get all these emails from all these people that I haven't heard from in forever, how it was just amazing. And if we don't vote for this guy and all, now here I am sitting there looking at it going, well, Jesus, I know he's going to get elected, but doesn't he have to ask somebody before he does any of this shit? I don't think he just can. And I can't bring it up, but didn't he discuss how miserable the average American was? Rodney Lee Conover, didn't he just say how miserable everybody is, that there's pain? What's that?
Things are horrible, but not for long.
Not for long. And he promised what? What exactly did
everyone will get everything for free.
Everyone. Jill, did you happen to watch it last night?
I did. I caught part of it.
Are you excited, Jill, that you're going to get everything
for free? No doubt. Yes, I'm very excited.
Right. Now, what's the first thing you would want, Jill, when Barack gets in? What is the first thing you think you would need? Now you're a woman, and that's another thing that Hillary Clinton was running.
Jill, you're a woman?
Yeah, fabulous woman.
I want a free boob job. Can I get that?
You'd like Barack to give you a free boob job. Yeah. Is your life miserable? I mean, we by the way, Jill was on our show yesterday. Madison's off for a while, and Jill came in and helped us out yesterday. She is from Chicago, living in New York City, making it as a singer, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. And we brought her on because she has a great voice, and we realized it makes no difference on radio what a woman looks like as long as the voice is good.
Apparently she also looks good, though.
Apparently she also looks good. Yeah, we've actually seen pictures of her and stuff.
We have?
Now, yeah, I've seen a picture of her, sure.
You've seen a picture of Jill?
I have. She has a website, and we talked, and there's singing.
What's your website, Jill?
I have a couple of websites, actually.
Would you give me just one of them?
Sure. You can.
Now remember, Jill, it's Howard 101.
Yes.
So prepare yourself for the messages you'll be receiving from, by the way, the downtrodden Americans that we heard so much about last night.
Not for long.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
You can go to the websites for free, though. That's another.
Yes.
So one is called.
Why do you have more than one?
Give me the best one.
Okay. Well, I have one called Gimme a Jingle.
Gimme a jingle.
Gimme, Gimme,
Gimme, JINGLE.com.
Is that you're a jingle singer?
That's, yeah, I write some jingles.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you are
jingles.
good looking. Look at
why,
you.
thank you.
Yeah, give me a jingle.
Sweet.
Oh, give me a jingle, like give me a call. Give me a jingle. I get
Exactly.
you. No, jingle meaning song. About
Song.
I understand, but the old days they would go, give me a jingle when the phones rang. Remember that? Give me a jingle. Remember
Exactly.
that? Now it's give me a whatever stupid fucking ringtone I have. Right? Yeah, right. So give me a jingle.com. Is that how it goes?
Exactly.
Okay,
you're young too, aren't you? You're a little spring chicken.
I
give
look
me a
young.
jingle.
Let's
go back to Barack Obama for a minute.
Why?
He promised absolutely everything to everyone. World peace.
Yeah, of course.
You had to do that, right? Right. Now here's the thing I want to know. I don't walk around talking to people on a daily basis who are as upset as I read about. I mean, I know that people having trouble with their mortgages and all of that. Do you meet a lot of those people, Rodney? Do you walk around meeting those
I do
people?
not. I only hang around with people who already have everything.
They have everything they need?
Yeah.
So they're not asking for Jill, all your friends?
You don't have to ask for it. You're going to get it.
You're going to get it, right. What would you... She wants a free boob job from the United States.
Yeah, vote for Obama.
That's right. What would you like, Rodney? What would you like? Have you thought yet about? It's almost like Christmas time is coming, isn't it? It's unbelievable. It's fucking unbelievable.
I don't know why I want. Well, I didn't even think about it.
You got to think about what you might want. Sure.
I guess I was just so wrapped up in the fact that I was going to get everything. Why should I ask for any one thing?
It'll just start coming. Now, Sean Kelly, you're a huge Barack Obama fan and everything else, but you've got to admit, this guy promised everything, and they're all.
Jay, when the country is so fucked up and
why do you say that? And fucked up how?
This guy has totally fucked this country for 8 fucking years.
But what?
And now
you're
this
not
guy is
fucked up.
offering some promise.
You
guys
are not
can do nothing but shit on him.
You're not fucked up.
What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
You're not fucked up. There's nothing wrong. Look, if you don't, you have a job. Your wife has a fucking job.
I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about everybody else in this country who's fucked up.
Who? How many of your friends call you up and they're all fucked up?
There are so many people who've been fucked by this guy. Good riddance. How about some hope for this fucking country?
Oh, please. Hold it. We have a voluntary army. So anybody that's gone to war volunteered. So we don't have a draft. So if you like to fight and you want to go to war, you've heard my position. Okay, that's fine. And so you go to war. So we have a volunteer army. And then a lot of the bad guys went to jail who, caused all the, the fucking financial crisis. But if you had any fucking brains at all, you didn't get a stupid loan, right? Didn't get a dumb loan, right? You know that you can't get 110% loan or whatever. I don't know what you're so fucking mad about. I don't, and this guy can't deliver any of this shit, Sean. None of it. None. He has a Congress that he has to go to. He can't just start giving shit away. It just doesn't happen. I don't understand. Yeah, you have to go ask somebody. It has to be voted on.
When he gets in, he gets to
No,
get
he
everything.
doesn't. He doesn't.
Yeah, he said last night. So you're full of shit.
No.
No, he said last night. Everyone's going to get everything for free.
All right.
So I don't think you know what you're talking about.
I think that a speech like that, if there's anybody on the fucking fence, I looked at that speech last night and I'm watching it and everybody's clapping. It's all exciting. He looked fantastic. He looked presidential and everything else. But I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, I guess I'm paying for this shit too, I guess. And so that's the problem. So Sean, you do get really, really upset. And you know that I'm much more of a Democrat than I am a Republican.
Yeah.
But that's bullshit, that kind of speech.
Why?
It is.
Why?
Because he can't do it, Sean.
That's what politicians do. They all fucking promise stuff. But
That's
maybe
true.
this guy can actually deliver.
Can't.
Why
Checks
not?
and balances won't allow it.
And you know what? Speaking of
checks
checks,
and balances
speaking
won't
of
allow
checks,
it.
Jay,
Yeah.
it's in the mail.
That's right. By the way, I was against, did Bush do it twice? Didn't he give out checks twice? Didn't he
Yes.
give out
I got two
$600
checks. And I got I got a new one coming. But nothing. Nothing.
Right.
Compared to when Obama
Well,
gets elected.
Obama's coming. I'm against the government giving the money back to you. Because you know good and well that as soon as they give the money back, it's just another,
Just going to spend it.
Yeah. I don't
Just
know
gonna
anyone
buy
that...
something.
Sean, are you one of these Democrats that took the money that Bush gave you and you gave it to the Democratic Party? Did you do that?
No, I gave it to the homeless.
There you go. But that was kind of a slap in the face. It was kind of, why didn't you go gamble or something? Or why don't you go buy something for yourself?
Because I don't need anything.
But you just said this guy was going to give everybody everything, and you're all pissed
No, you're
off.
saying that. I didn't say that. He's telling people what he wants to accomplish. What's the big deal about that? Why is that such a bad thing?
Yeah,
I would like a guy to come on and go, look, we're fucking greedy. We got everything.
Well, that's what the Republicans do. You sound just like a Republican.
No, every
You sound
kid,
pretty right wing for a
Every-
Democrat.
fucking right winger.
every fucking homeless person has a cell phone, okay? Every scumbag in the street has a cell phone. Everybody has a 52-inch HD fucking TV, and then someone says they don't have health care, and I'm thinking, well, you can't have two cars. How does that sound? You can't, you know, it's like that's the way
That's
it
all
is.
over, Jay.
We don't need to worry about it.
All your bitching is for naught.
I'm probably still going to vote for the
Of course you are.
You know what? I really don't know. But, I mean, you know, it's all... I really don't know.
Everybody.
But you know why I don't? Because guys like Sean and my
you're
mother-in-law...
not voting for McCain.
And my mother-in-law
You liar.
and all of that, they are so left-wing that it pisses me off, right? It just pisses me off.
Don't let it piss you off. People,
people
get to have their political opinions. That's what's great about the country.
And the Republicans are, for some reason, going to threatening to postpone the Republican National Convention.
I thought it was in Minnesota.
It is. They're going to postpone it because of hurricane.
If McCain gets elected, what am I getting free?
I don't think he has any plans on giving anything free.
I'm voting Obama. I'm getting everything with him.
So when you go shopping, you only go... Do you go to Costco?
No need for shopping anymore.
You're not going to shop anymore.
Why?
You just go to the... Do you ever go to Costco and eat all of the hors d'oeuvres that they serve?
I do.
Yeah,
it's
me
great.
too.
Whenever I'm hungry.
Now, Jill, as a downtrodden woman, I know it must be horrible for you because we had the traveling pantsuits too up there the other night. Are you downtrodden also? Is it as bad as they say for women? Is it awful for you?
I don't personally feel too downtrodden, but I'm sure there are people that do feel that way. And
just go to Santa Barbara, Jill. You'll see some downtrodden. It's great. Jill, if you go to Santa Barbara, I'm not kidding you, and I go there all the time. If you go there,
where I live,
the first thing that you notice is the homeless in the lawn chairs with the new tennis shoes.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to get new lawn chairs with Obama.
And new tennis shoes, right?
No,
Thank
they already got new tennis shoes.
Oh, okay.
Let's go to Brian of Boston at the Jay Thomas Show at 888-783-7610. So, did you watch it last night? Were you excited for the nation last night? Remember now, I'm supposed to be a Democrat, so I look at it and it's just starting to piss me off. Yes, Brian, go ahead.
Oh, actually, I didn't watch it, but I realized that Obama did promise everything to everybody.
Right.
But the thing, obviously, he's not going to give anything to anyone, which is true. You know, Congress appropriates the money.
That is
but
the
what
point.
he's supposed to be, but he promises everything to everyone, just like everybody else does. You know, so they're all a bunch of scumbags, the Democrats or the Republicans on both sides of it. But
everybody is a scumbag. They're all scumbags.
Yeah, they're all scumbags, pretty much.
That's
but
true.
I think.
Wait 1 second. Hey, Sean, are there any scumbags that you know that are Democrats? Sean?
Yeah, I know a few.
You know a couple of Democratic scumbags?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Well, it's like, you know, if you really want that job, I think there's something wrong with you to begin with. But the thing
I don't see why he just couldn't be honest and say, look, we got all kind of shit. We got cell phones. You got the kids running fucking crazy. We spent $1 trillion in the fucking war. And this National Guard is still in New Orleans. I live down there, you know, many months out of the year. The National Guard's all over the place. We need the National Guard in fucking Harlem. What's the rough part of Chicago? What's the rough, Rodney, what's the rough part of Chicago?
Well, it used to be the South Side, but as you know, Obama's from Chicago.
Right.
And everybody already got everything for free.
All right,
he got elected senator.
You know what? I kind of went on your side for a minute. I know, but could they use the army there? Would it be good if the army?
No, we don't need the army.
Detroit, the army would be good in Detroit.
Yes, Detroit would be a good one.
Detroit would be good. You know,
he should go run for mayor of Detroit.
Yeah, it'd be great. I think that we need the army in so many places in the United States.
You can't do that though.
I know you can't. I know
you can't. You can't send them to the border for some reason either. That blows my mind.
Yeah, the thing is that the army ought to be here and fighting it. We're in Boston. Where would you want the army?
We should be fighting in Boston. We should invade Boston.
Yeah, where would you want the army?
You know what? We should have regime change in Boston.
In Boston, we don't
start with Ted Kennedy.
Right. So Brian, what do you want? Here's my question. He's going to give you everything. And does your life suck, Brian? Is it just as awful as I heard last night? The pain that you're going through.
You know, actually, I'm on my way to work like I do every day.
You have a job?
Absolutely.
Get out of here.
Stuff, you know?
You liar.
I make 6 figures. And,
Get out.
Jesus. Please.
The rich.
Yeah. No, I'm not rich. You know, it ain't $5 million, that's for sure.
Okay, well, wait a second. Hold it, Brian.
Yeah.
So I guess before the day is over, what we'll find out before the day is over, we're going to have a lot of people come on the show. And in the middle of the show, Sean, if someone calls who's downtrodden, put them right through. Because I want to talk to. Did you go get a 3% loan, Brian, knowing that after 18 months it was going to be a 7% loan? Did you do that one?
No, actually, I got a 30-year fixed at about 5.
There you go. Okay. If somebody says to you something like,
"You're not going to have to pay your mortgage," come November.
Oh, that's why they'll give you all the money.
Did you know that?
Fucking money. Yeah. I do know that.
Free house.
Listen, you may hey, Sean, you may think I'm a Republican, but I'm against that shit too, and I'll tell you why. I went to try and refinance my house, and I'm smart, and I know how to do it. They won't let me.
You know why?
They don't have any money.
No.
Why?
Well, they shouldn't let you.
Bush is president.
That's because they're waiting for the other guy to come in, right?
That's right. They're holding on to there.
Well, so Brian, good luck to us, right, with this. And you're going to go make 6 figures right now.
Yeah.
Rich
And you know, I don't
Republican.
do anything fancy. I don't have an HD TV or anything like that.
Bullshit. What did you watch the speech on?
He didn't watch it.
You
regular
didn't. I'm sorry.
definition TV.
Oh, God.
regular-
You are
My wife
downtrodden. That's downtrodden, Jay.
I have
standard definition TV.
I have
more of that in November.
I have a regular definition TV, but on certain channels it's HD. And I cannot tell the difference from...
You can't tell the difference? My God,
No.
I can't watch standard definition anymore. There's such a great difference.
That's an old age thing. That's got nothing to do with the TV.
No, bullshit.
really?
I can't tell
Well, that
the
might
difference.
be.
You go back and forth.
That glaucoma is worse than I thought.
No, it isn't. I got surgery yesterday. I don't know.
Hey.
All right, Brian.
Hi,
Thank
are
you
you
very
okay?
much. Yes. Yeah, I'm perfect.
Thank God you're in
Perfect.
radio. You don't have to look at it.
And I got my face fixed yesterday, so as
Did
soon
you
as
get
the
some more of
scabs
those
go-
sunspots?
I did. I got the sunspots taken off yesterday.
Do you
You're
know
so
you should have
vain,
waited? You
And I
should
had
have
my
waited till
asshole.
November.
I had my asshole re-reamed so that now it's 20 years younger. You know.
What time is it, Jay?
What time is it?
Isn't it about 7:17 in New York?
Yes, it is.
It took you 17 minutes to start talking about ass.
Yeah. Dr. Pepper of Texas, the Jay Thomas Show with Jill and Rodney Lee Conover. Yes, Dr. Pepper, how are you?
I love this. Love the show, Jay.
Good.
We love
good.
you, Dr. Pepper.
Now, hold on a second.
I'm a pepper. Jill's a
How do you-
pepper.
hold on a second. We
Would
didn't
you
ask
like to
Garrett.
be
We
a
didn't
pepper
ask
too?
Garrett. Hold on a minute, Garrett. Garrett, are you downtrodden?
I am.
So you're the one. You're the one.
He has to play World of Warcraft on a 17-inch monitor, man.
Right.
Is
Prices
that
have
fucked
gone
up?
up so much, and,
Right.
and I've gotten my 3% raise every year. Yet this year, everything went up 10%.
Well,
Oh, you know what? We're not going to talk
guess
about
what?
that.
Yeah.
And you know what,
moving on.
Garrett? If they gave you 3%, that's all you deserve. Okay?
Do you know what's going to happen in November, Garrett?
What?
We're going to merge with Obama.
Awesome.
Dr. Pepper, yes, sir. Go ahead. Are you
Hey.
downtrodden? You downtrodden?
Actually, unbelievably, I'm not, and I didn't watch the convention last night because I had a choice of either watching that or getting a hot poker shoved up my ass. So as I was having the poker shoved up my ass, I was
free,
wondering if the entire crowd, were they wearing tie-dye T-shirts, holding hands, and singing?
It was the
Kumbaya?
hippies, wasn't it? Yeah.
Were all of those granola fucks the ones
love
that think
the
we are
hippies.
so downtrodden, and they worry about, just like your buddy Sean there, he thinks America is so hated. Since when did we start giving a fuck what the rest of the thieving fucking countries of this world thought about us? What a
Yeah,
load
it's like
of horse
it's like
shit.
it's like everybody is so worried what Europe thinks of us. You mean like Obama went to Germany and apologized as an American? The same Germany that gave us Hitler, Mussolini, the same Europe that. Why aren't they apologizing to us? That's what I
Wait a
don't
second.
get.
He apologized to
Oh
Germany? I don't
yeah,
remember that.
went over to Germany with the
What did he apologize
the
about?
beer and the brats and the 200,000 concert goers and apologized. And I went, wait a minute.
Wait a second.
They
You're
should
exactly
be apologizing to me.
right. Hey, Sean, he didn't
Those
pull
fucks.
200,000 people. There was a concert after that speech, Sean. Did you know that?
I tell you, you offer free brats and
Sean,
beers.
I
wonder how many people McCain is going to get. Like 30 people in fucking walkers, and he's going to do the stiff arm. I can't wait for his inspiring fucking speech.
He does the stiff arm.
Jay.
He does the stiff arm.
He can't do the stiff arm. That's what's sad.
What's that, Dr. Pepper? What's that?
Yeah, we had to go to war in the Middle East.
Yes.
Pick a fucking country. We are going to be in the Middle East from here on out. Pick
I guess
a country.
so.
We were going to be there anyway. So that all the war bullshit.
All right.
It's just, Bush did exactly what he said he was going to do after 9/11, and everybody cheered and said, yeah, go get him. And he goes and does what he says he's going to do, and now everybody's
well, I don't. I disagree with I think I always thought Iraq was a present to his dad, which I would have done too if my dad had been fucked over by somebody and they tried to get him.
Hey, who fucked over your dad that you would have invaded?
There was a guy once. My dad was in the oil business.
Like
and
one
guy. There was a guy. His name was Charlie Wacker. Charlie Wacker fired my dad.
Hey, U.S. out of Wacker.
No, and I walked into the kitchen. I'll never forget it. It was like 11 in the morning, and my dad was on the phone, and he said, well, fuck you, you son of a bitch, and he hung up. And I was getting ready to go to school. I said, Dad, what was that? He goes, that's that fucking Charlie Wacker. He just fired me. I don't even, you're a kid. You don't even know what that means. And my dad opened up the cabinet and took out a bottle of scotch and poured a shot of scotch and drank it down. And I said, you're like a cowboy, Dad. That's how stupid I was. And
you sounded just like Sam there.
You're like your Dad. That was like a cowboy would do, right?
Hey, Dad,
and
I want a shot of scotch.
He lost his job, and we had trouble after that, and he couldn't get a job and all that shit. And yeah, I would have attacked Charlie Wacker.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. I have a message for your dad, Jay.
If I'd have become the dad and I found out that I could attack Charlie Wacker to make up for what he'd done to my dad, I would have attacked Charlie Wacker.
I got a message for your dad.
Yeah, what is it, Dr. Pepper?
Come to think of it, I am a tad downtrodden, but I got to get going. I'm driving my BMW down to the beach house.
All right. Thanks a lot. There you go.
Later.
There you go. Let's go. We have found somebody. Dan of Long Island. It's the Jay Thomas Show. Yes, Dan. Turn your radio down, please. Dan, thanks very much.
Turn your paid radio down.
Yeah. Hey, Dan, how are you? It's the Jay Thomas Show at Howard 101. By the way, Jill is with us, and you'll hear more about her. Give me a jingle. Rodney Lee Conover from bachelorman.com is here. Yes, Dan, go ahead.
Good morning, Jay. How are you and everybody else there?
You sound like you're hurting. I can hear it in your voice, Dan. No, I can hear it. You sound entirely different than the other people that have called.
Well, listen, I'm a small business owner. I own a small remodeling company here in New York. It's the worst it's ever been in 17 years of doing this. And,
But didn't you remodel every fucking thing you could possibly remodel for the last 10 or 15 years? Did you not look around and go, how many fucking houses can we build and this is going to end at some point? Did you not look at
Actually, I'm one of the type of guys, and that most of my work is repeat business with repeat customers. They decide to do a kitchen one year, another year they decide to do a bathroom. They're not all rich. There's a lot of money out there. And,
you didn't for 1 second think that we'd built too many houses. I was in that business too.
Yeah.
And I would drive down the street and I would go, this is going to end. And I don't know what you do if you're in a business that it looks like it's going to... It would be as if I started noticing that they started like there were too many radio signals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're driving... Or what would
There
it
is
be?
a lot of radio, though.
There is a lot of radio, but you're right.
You know what's going to be bad for us, Jay?
What?
Sirius is going to be free in November. How are we going to stay open?
No, it's not going to be free.
It is.
No, it
That's
isn't.
what Obama said.
No, it isn't going to be free.
I heard it.
It isn't going to be free.
Liar.
So, Dan, what do you do now? You wake up and you just drink and smoke dope in the morning? Because that's what most contractors do.
What I want to know about this guy, the caller, is
Dan?
What's going to happen in the next 4 years that's going to make your small business better?
Nothing in the next 4 years is going to make anybody's business better.
Okay.
Nothing's going to change in the next 4 years.
All right.
All right.
And, let's say the next 8 years then. Next 8 years.
Next 8 years, we might start rebounding a little bit. It's cyclical. It's the economy. It happens in the 30s, the 40s, the 60s. It's cyclical.
Do you have children, Dan? You have kids?
Yeah, I have 4 kids.
Oh, Jesus.
They're going to be...
I got 4 little girls that I have to provide for every single day.
Do you realize that when your little girls, when the youngest one is about 17, right? Or no. When do you get your period, Jill? How old?
13.
I was about...
You heard his voice? 13.
I was an early bloomer.
13?
11.
11. Jesus.
Yeah.
Do you realize that at one time, your wife and your 4 daughters will all have their period at the same time?
Oh, yeah.
That's coming. That's coming. Yeah.
Thank God for free tampons come November.
Right. All right. Thank you, Dan. Jesus.
I would
all
love that. Free tampons. They're expensive.
Well, they're not the most expensive thing, but they're right up there.
Yeah.
When you first had your period, did your mother, she sat down with you, and it's like a special thing for a girl, isn't it?
Oh, for me? It was horrifying.
No, but did your mother guide you through it?
I'm curious.
She guided me through it, and the first thing she said to my dad is, "Oh, our daughter's a woman now." Oh, I was mortified.
Why did that mortify you? I'm curious.
Because I was 11.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but why would you be mortified that you were?
She was bleeding. She was 11.
I was shy. I was, just
really?
Yeah.
Well,
that would be kind of freaky. Blood just starts coming out of you.
One night when we lived in Connecticut, I guess I've told you this. I don't know. And this is Rodney.
When did you have your period first, Jay?
One night when we were in Connecticut, and I think the one of the sons that I kept was about, I guess he was like 9, or no, maybe he was 11, something like that, right? So I'd gone to get a new car. And I'd been calling home and making the deal all day, and turned in the old car that I had, and I got this big SUV, and I was all excited. And I keep calling back home about the SUV and stuff. And so when I get back to the house, the sun was going down. And I wanted everybody to come see the new, SUV that I bought. It was a big deal. It had all kind of, crazy shit in it. And, you could watch TV in the back seat, all that stupid stuff, right? And the house was completely dark. And I honked the horn, and nobody comes out. And so I go to the door, and my wife says, "Come in, something has happened." And I said, "Look at the SUV." No, I can't look at it now. Something has happened. So I go in, and my 9-year-old and my I guess it was my 10-year-old and my 12-year-old are sitting at the dinner table, and they have cookies in front of them. And they have a little glass of sherry. Now, it's like, 7 o'clock at night. And I said, "What are you feeding? What are you doing?" She says, "Well, Sam, tell him what happened." He goes, "Dad, I masturbated today." And I was frozen at the fucking door. Frozen. And I turned to my wife and I go, What are you doing? What are you talking about? She goes, "I didn't know what to do. I've never been around boys. All I ever had was sisters. And so when we start our period, we have a little get together, and it's becoming of a woman and everything else." She goes, "I guess when a boy masturbates, it's the same thing?" I said, "No, it isn't the same thing. You're supposed to hide in the basement, and you're supposed to have a sock that you use that you hide behind some rags, and that if you're caught, you're in tremendous trouble. You don't celebrate, masturbating. You don't, it isn't a celebratory thing." And so the kids had cookies and they masturbated. He was mad and he couldn't stop saying it. I said, "Look, don't ever tell anybody that we had a party at our fucking house because you jerked off." I said,
"You had a jacking off party."
Were they watching pornos too? And drinking the sherry?
The sherry and the cookies. And she said that when she had her period, just like you, her mother made a huge deal out of it. And they had like a little party. Did you have a cake? Some sort of a red velvet cake?
No, I don't think I had a red velvet cake. I think,
That's a period cake. You know that.
Yeah.
Rodney, did you know that? You ever see those cookbooks?
No, I was
What to make when your daughter becomes a woman? red velvet cake?
In fact, I'm going to go make one today because I don't think I got one.
For the boys, it's a Boston cream pie.
Oh.
That's what they do. Garrett, when you first masturbated, did you go down and tell your mom or your dad and you had a little party?
Definitely not.
Didn't have that?
No, I knew it was.
Did you tell anyone, Garrett? Did you tell anyone?
No.
Kept
You
it
did
to
it-
yourself?
Yeah.
Did you have a sock?
No.
Catcher's mitt?
I did the. I started out like humping stuff.
Pookie towel? Did you have a pookie towel?
No.
You know,
Remember
remember those?
when I first started, nothing came out.
Remember those?
What? You shot dust?
Wait a second.
Yeah, I wasn't old enough to shoot stuff.
Wait a minute. Do you hear this, Jay?
No, it's called dog water.
Dog water. I've
That's
never
what it's
heard
called.
that.
That's what my uncle used to say. He said, "Well, you ain't old enough yet. All you can shoot is dog water."
Nothing
That's what
came out, huh?
No.
You mean it just
Man.
jumped? It
When
jumped.
I was that age,
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
shoot it off the wall, man.
No, it jumped. When you were like 9 or 7 or something,
Oh
it just
man, I'd
jumped.
spray down the entire room
Jesus.
like a self-service car wash. You put a quarter in me.
Let's go to Carrie of Seattle. Carrie, the Jay Thomas Show, with Jill and also Rodney Lee Conover. Coming up in a few minutes, a guy that sells legal weed. I swear to God, sells legal weed. Had to go to the United States government, to sell legal, weed. So we'll talk to him in a few minutes. Yes, Carrie, how are you? You still there? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, Carrie, how are you? The Jay Thomas Show. How are you?
It's Kari.
It's Oh, we have to say it a certain way. It's not Carrie.
Is it spelled funny too?
Yeah. Hey, Kari, without even knowing you.
I'll bet it's
I know you're.
what is it?
Yeah. I don't know.
Karrie or some crap?
What is it, Kari? How do you say it?
It's Kari.
Oh, okay.
Kari.
Kari. I guess that makes sense.
What name did your parents give you?
Carrie.
That was
You
it.
Carrie?
Kari. They just gave you that name?
I'm Rodny, by the way.
Okay, and we have to say Kari. We can't say Carrie.
You can say whatever you want, Dave.
No. I want to
You
say
don't
what
want to
you're
talk
used
to me, I'll just hang up.
No,
Don't hang up.
No, don't Kari.
Don't hang up. Kari.
We know people
We're
whose
just
name
kidding.
was,
We love you, Kari.
was Carrie, Carrie, and they changed it. I know a girl named Jackie. It's Jaquie now, and all that bullshit. And we just were checking. But if your parents gave you that name, and you have to pronounce it for people all the time, I'm against that. I've always been against it.
So am I. It's a pain in the ass.
Okay, I'm just. You know what? Let me apologize to you.
Sorry, Kari.
Yeah. Sorry, Kari. All right.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, so sorry,
if
Kari.
you kill yourself, would it be Hari Kari?
I guess it would be.
It would be. Kari, are you downtrodden? Are you hurting? First of all, did you have a party when you had your period? Was there a big party?
No party.
She
No
didn't drink
party?
shari. No
have
shari for
cookies?
Kari.
No shari? No nothing?
Nope, none of that.
Your mother didn't come down and say, Kari, you're a woman now with a funny name?
No.
No? Okay.
Nope.
Okay. What can we do for you?
Well, you just were saying that you didn't know anybody that was hurting, and I find that hard to believe. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of tough when they have pay radio to talk to people that are downtrodden. You know.
You think that everyone that has Sirius Satellite is just over the top financially?
I would say that if you're paying for radio, then maybe you should rearrange your priorities.
You're not recommending anyone not pay for radio, are you?
I'm recommending everybody pay for it,
Thank
but
you. I was just
only
going to
till
check.
November.
Okay. So, Kari, you are, you're downtrodden but you spend $13 a month to keep your spirits up, don't you, by having Sirius Satellite?
Yeah.
There you go. That's all it can. I mean, anybody can afford $13 a month. Wouldn't you agree, Rodney?
Oh God, it's
Absolutely.
so cheap. Cheap at any
So
price.
are you a single mom and you've got kids running around, by various husbands and various colors? Do you have that going on in the house?
No, I have one husband and 2 kids by one husband.
You got the husband. Well, how come that?
Yeah.
Is the
Does he
husband out
not
of
work?
Yeah, he's out of work.
Well, the husband got injured at work and
There you
hasn't
go.
worked for a couple of years.
Well, wait a second now.
Well-
Why don't you get a really good lawyer and sue the shit out of the company? That's what that's all
Well-
about.
It's hard to do when you have no money to pay anybody.
Yeah, but those guys work on commission.
Yeah. They take 1/3. So you go get a John Edwards type guy.
That's right.
Now they're going to watch your husband to see if he's really hurt. Is he in a wheelchair and he can't move at all?
No.
Well, he's going to have to be. Do you have a neck brace?
Yeah, you got to get one of those neck braces first.
Just go down to the drugstore and get those neck braces?
It's not
I'm
like
not
that.
kidding. And if you don't have a cane, just cut off the bottom of 2 ski poles. I saw a woman actually going to the doctor's office yesterday. She had 2 ski poles and with tennis balls on the end of them. And I thought it was the most inventive, kind of cane thing I'd ever seen, And you knew she was crippled, so you need that. Okay. And now when you watched Barack Obama last night, is that it for you? You're going to vote for him? You're getting everything you want?
I don't know. I didn't watch it, but I've been hearing about it this morning. I deliver newspapers, so I've been listening for a while.
What did you watch last night instead of the
I didn't watch anything. I sleep.
Oh, you didn't?
Oh, she gets up early, like we do, and you deliver the Seattle Times, whatever it is?
No, not the Seattle Times anymore. Just another local paper.
And you got, how old are the kids?
9 and 14.
So they can't work yet, right? And you're throwing the newspapers, right?
Yeah.
You want to hear something? And I know you're going to hate this. This is absolutely awful. There are some incredible countries you can move to where not a lot of money, I'm not kidding you, not a lot of money is a big deal. Like if you went to Venezuela, and I'm not joking. No, Venezuela's bad. This guy could go at any second. He could get killed. Cars burning. That would be bad. You know what's a good country now? Argentina. Would you ever leave the United States? The dollar is worth like 3,000 pesos there. You'd learn Spanish. It wouldn't, for $200 you get a, what are you laughing at?
I don't know if that's the answer.
Not everybody can live in this country. It's too expensive.
This is not the right country for everyone.
It is not. Carrie, I'm not kidding. You would be throwing the El Dario there every morning. You'd get up and
they'd call you El Gaucho.
Actually, Carrie would work in a foreign country better than it does in the United States. Have you thought of that?
No, I hadn't.
And you could still pay monthly for your Sirius, even though you wouldn't get it.
You still get it there. So, well, look, are you voting? Absolutely voting for Barack Obama, and he's gonna solve all your problems, or you're not sure?
I don't think he's going to solve anybody's problems, but I don't know that McCain is going to either.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Okay. And you need a lawyer, and they work. Yeah, they don't take money. They look at your husband and they see if the case is worth their time. And if it's worth their time, they sue the shit out of the company who has insurance. And then your husband has to say that he can't have sex with you, which is a very good one. And the only person that can't say that today is David Duchovny. He's the only person in the United States who can't tell the insurance company he can't because he's a sex addict. You read that? Did you read that in the paper when you were delivering him this morning?
No, not yet.
He's a sex. You know what a sex addict is, Carrie? It's a person who wants to have sex. Think about this all the time.
I'm a sex addict.
Well, his wife is beautiful. I mean, can you blame him?
Yeah.
What is she?
I don't know exactly.
What is she?
Oh, who is she?
No. What did you just say? What is she?
I said his wife is beautiful. Can you
say it again? What is she?
I said beautiful.
What is she? His
wife.
Thank you. Thank you.
So,
it's the J. Tom. Yeah. Say it again. His wife. Has Pam Anderson been married and has she been divorced?
A few times, I think.
Sure. Okay. What about name any number of wives that are beautiful? And it's the wife. Rodney, what causes sex to stop?
Low ratings.
No.
Will cause you to.
No,
what?
you once had an incredible idea.
Well, they've narrowed it down.
What is it?
It's a chemical in wedding cake.
It's a chemical in wedding cake, Joe.
Just stops the whole drive.
You eat the wedding cake, and for some reason, it stops it. Okay, we'll come back and talk about that. We'll talk about legal weed. Carrie, good luck. Sean.
Thanks, Jay. Love you.
Okay. Well, would $20 help you? Sean, I'm going to send Carrie $20 in cash. Okay?
That's nice.
Boy, Sean, you know what? That was the most insincere. I'm going to take $20 out of my own pocket and mail it to this woman.
That's big of you.
It was very insincere, I thought. I was trying to be Barackish as far as I'm concerned.
Barack will double that, so wait till November.
Thank you. It's the Jay Thomas Show with everybody included, and it's Howard 101.
Howard 101. It's the Jay Thomas Show. Call 888-STERN-101. The Jay Thomas Show on Howard 101.
You must have been high.
I'm up.
You can go to jthomas.com or jthomasshow.com and hit store. We've got our Obama the Commie T-shirts for sale after last night's speech. We're pretty sure that
these soaring.
Yeah, they'll be gone. Rodney Lee Conover's it's a mess down there. You can make T-shirts, backpacks, dog sweaters out of them. Mouse pads. You can do whatever you want to do. Also, we'll put, by the way, Shuley and Madison are on vacation. Not
Are you
together.
all right?
They're fine. I'm fine.
No, are you okay?
I'm good. I'm really good.
No, I'm serious because I'm worried about you.
Yeah, at any minute you can take over.
Well, yesterday I had to take over for like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
It was the Jill and Rodney show.
It sure
really was, yeah.
That,
you know
by
what,
the way,
you know
is
what Jill did when your thing dropped out yesterday?
What?
She badmouthed the shit out of you.
She did. I couldn't hear a thing.
I did not.
When the
She
equipment
did.
failed.
She started.
Let's go to
saying horrible
Vaughn
things.
Dillman. Vaughn, welcome to the Jay Thomas Show at Howard 101. Hello, Vaughn.
Hey, good morning to you guys.
Good, man. Now, you spell Vaughn, V-A-U-N-E. That had to be, we were just talking to a woman whose name is
Kari.
We had to, we had to
yell at her.
Before we talked to you about legal weed, what did people call you when you were a kid if your name was spelled V-A-U-N-E? What were some of the things they would say in school to you?
Well, I was big enough and strong enough, nobody messed with me. They called me Vaughn.
They would just say Vaughn.
Mr. Vaughn.
They would just say Vaughn, or you would work them. They would learn the pronunciation prior to speaking.
They'd ask their friends when you're coming down the hall.
Like, who's this big guy? And they would say, well, that's Vaughn. You just
don't say anything. Just call him Vaughn. Whatever.
It
you
isn't
do.
Vaughn. It's Vaughn, isn't it?
No, it's Vaughn, like V-O-N.
Vaughn.
But it's
Vaughn?
spelled V-A-U-N-E.
See, I would say Vaughn.
I was named after an archbishop in France in the 16th or the 9th century.
I know that.
Wow. Wow,
Bishop,
that's
Bishop Vaughn.
So apparently your parents were readers, big readers.
Well, we're Catholic.
I see. Now, Vaughn, you did we talk to you a year or so ago? You put out a beer called Legal Weed, and a friend in weed.
No. We talked to the guy that had the beer Heroin. That guy.
We had heroin beer.
Great.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a different guy.
And we had a guy that also was selling a drink called cocaine.
Yeah.
And so we have a lot of people on that have made these names. You have a beer called Weed, and then when you open the cap up, it says try Legal Weed. And didn't they stop you from selling it? Who stopped you from selling it?
I had a letter sent to us in our business from the Department of, they changed their name to TTB. It's the United States Government Treasury, and their department used to be the ATF, but they changed it to the Tax and Trade Bureau now.
And they told you couldn't have the word weed on a bottle of beer because people are so stupid they would think that you were drinking marijuana?
Well, they came out with a law it's not a law. I didn't violate any law whatsoever. They came out with a rule, and it was called 94-2, and if I may, in paraphrasing it, I don't have it in front of me, but it says, responsible industry members should not be wanting to portray their products in any socially unacceptable manner.
Especially not alcohol.
Yeah. So they would.
I guess my beer Crack Light isn't gonna make anybody happy. Crack Light.
Sorry.
It's a third something.
Who wants light crack, you know?
That's right.
I don't want diet crack.
You're going to do crack.
You see, Vaughn, you see what happens? It's a gateway, not just a gateway drug. It's a gateway to bad jokes. It's a gateway to bad puns. This legal weed.
Gateway, yeah,
it's a gateway to bad jokes. Now, Vaughn, you do legal weed, and is it because you live in a town called Weed? Is that? I mean, how did you get by?
Yeah, he lives in Weed.
You live in Weed, do you?
I do. It's on the map since 1901.
Is that near Sacramento? Sacramento?
Yeah, we're 230 miles north of Sacramento.
Oh,
we're right on the Oregon border. I can see the mountains of Oregon.
He lives in a beautiful part of the country, Jay.
I don't know
like near Grants Pass, right?
Well, no, that Grants Pass is too far north. We're right on the side of Mount Shasta. If you look at a map, it's Interstate 5, and Interstate 5 connects Alaska to Mexico. And we're dead center right in the middle of that.
So you get the drugs really easy, right up Route 5.
It goes right up there.
Hey, we got a weed airport.
So wait a second.
How about your high school?
We got a
weed high?
We got a weed high. We got a weed cemetery. We got a
You know what?
How'd you like to go to Weed High, Jay?
No, you know what? No, wait a second. Did you go to Weed
Cemetery?
Did you go to Weed High?
No, but my wife did. My wife's family was born and raised there.
I was joking.
It's just from one gulp to another, you know.
Right. Now, how many people live in the town of Weed, California?
There are 3,000.
So it's a real town. It isn't something that you made up and incorporated thing so you could sell beer that said weed.
Absolutely not. And that's what's unique about our product. All of our labels are geographically related to or named after particular individuals from our community.
By the way, go to weedales.com. Will they ship weed around the country? Can you ship it?
I have licenses in California, Oregon, and Washington.
Well, I'm going to order some weed beer, or if you think this is a good interview, it'd be nice for you to send me a six-pack.
We'd like some free weed.
I can send you a weed bottle cap. You have to understand that...
What's that, a weed bottle cap?
Oh, boy.
Can you
Can't wait
smoke
for
it?
that.
Vaughn. Hey, Vaughn. You know
Thanks,
what? Don't
Vaughn.
ever offer anybody a bottle cap again.
Yeah,
okay?
come
It's
on.
not, it doesn't, there's nothing about it that's
Hey,
exciting.
Jay, one of my brewers thinks the world of you. He grew up listening to you. I guess you were on Los Angeles channel.
That's right.
I was on a Power 106. It was a dance station. Is he an ethnic person?
Marco Noriega is his
There
name.
you go.
Guilty.
Absolutely.
And he-
Marco Noriega. I was the number one kind of Spanish dance. Is he
Yeah.
gay? Is he gay?
No.
11,
Okay.
Tell
11
him
to
a lot of
14 gay
gays were-
Latinas.
Yeah, a lot of gay Latinos were crazy about
He has
me.
a harem following him all the time.
That's cool too. He probably went to clubs and stuff.
No,
and
actually, he graduated from Annapolis. He's a pretty hot guy.
Wait a second. He is from Los Angeles. Listen to me on the radio.
He listened
and
to
then
Power 106 and went to Annapolis?
Actually, he's from Monterey, but he listened to you through high school, and
Wow.
he says you guys were superb. So
Thank you.
I can't
Thank you.
give you any better credit than that one.
Well, tell Manuel Noriega thanks for me. All right?
Marco.
I'm sorry, Marco.
There you go. But
Now,
I
Vaughn-
wanted to tell you, too, Abner Weed was a California
Who's Abner
state
Weed?
senator.
He
Who
invented
is he?
baseball.
Abner Weed is a senator?
Was a California state senator for 2 terms, from 1900 and then again in 1902.
Oh, that
So,
guy.
When you name the beer, and you're a brewer, when you name the beer, you had to be giggling and going, this is great. I mean, it's weed. It means marijuana. We're going to sell the hell out of this, even though it's a delicious ale, I'm sure.
It is.
And when I lick the bottle cap, maybe I'll get some of the flavor, from the delicious ale when you send me the bottle cap. But so you knew you were doing, but when you talked to the United States government, the federal authorities, you had to, I don't know what word I should use, pretend that you were doing it for all the right reasons when in fact, you can tell us now that you were doing it for, financial.
Promotional purposes.
Promotional purposes, yes.
Actually not. It's a play on words. It's a pun.
That's
Yeah,
it.
we know that, but
But in the same regard, I've never touched this stuff in my life. I was an Oakland police officer.
Vaughn, we don't
Honest?
lie on this show.
Honest. My wife was a superintendent.
She
of
went to
all the
Weed
schools.
High. What does she know?
Your wife went to Weed High and never smoked dope. Now think about that for a
that's
minute,
right.
Vaughn.
There's something wrong about that.
We took our class, 8th grade class, to San Francisco for their class trip.
Did you
and
get
our
high?
our bus got circled at Fisherman's Wharf, and they didn't let us out of there for over an hour because so many tourists were trying to take their picture next to our school bus saying "Weed High."
Tommy Chong has a bus like that.
You know what? All kidding aside, I have a website.
They open the door and the smoke comes out.
jthomas.com. Can we get some Weed High T-shirts? Do they sell those?
I think I can handle some of that.
I'm not kidding you. We ought to put
And
those
Jill
on
would
the-
like a
on the
Weed
website.
High cheerleading outfit.
Exactly.
Okay. So
You
Vaughn
guys-
Dillman.
And can I
Do
just
you
say
guys know
that?
Tom? Do you guys know Tom Sullivan?
Yes.
I sent him a shirt. He was
The
absolutely
blind guy, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, no, Tom
He
is
was from
blind. We had him.
Sacramento, and then he
blind.
went on to Fox, I guess.
He's blind.
he's
He smoked too
blind.
much dope.
Yeah, he's completely
Oh.
blind.
Yeah.
He did. He smoked a lot of dope. He
And then
masturbated and went
it cured
completely
his
blind.
glaucoma, though.
He was so pleased with our interview, he sent us a 8x11 picture, and it said, "Hi, Vaughn. I love weed. Tom Sullivan."
There you go.
Wow.
So
Now go.
You're going to send me a picture?
Sure. I'll
You got
send
that
you a
on
picture.
eBay?
Sure.
Yeah, cool.
Weedales.com. Try legal weed. And so how long did they hold you down before you won the lawsuit?
You know, it started around the 11th of February of this last year, and we were really worried. We're just a mom-and-pop business. There's only 7 of us. It's my wife and I and 5 employees. And we try really hard to make a good product, and we emphasize our town. Our whole town is related around Abner weed. If you come down I-5, like I mentioned to you, on both ends of the town, there's a big sign on the freeway by Caltrans, and it doesn't say City of Weed. It just says weed, next 3 exits. Can you imagine that?
Now, do you have little
That's
signs?
wild, Vaughn.
What about when you're leaving town? Does it have a sign as you're leaving town?
Yeah, it says temporarily out of weed, one of our shirts.
All right. Okay. So when you're driving out of town, it says temporarily out of weed as you're splitting town.
No, that's one of my shirts.
Oh, that's one of your shirts? Okay. And why haven't you ever tried marijuana? Are you frightened of it? Are you afraid that it will lead you to drinking a lot of beer? What's your
there's a certain type of marijuana you should try. It's called
What is
Bud Light marijuana.
Yeah. It's delicious. Delicious.
Bud.
It's great.
Hey, what's the difference, Bud Light or try Bud or try weed?
That's right.
you
Bud.
Oh, they let Budweiser go, but they don't let the small guy go.
Okay, listen, we're all for you.
Anheuser-Busch. There's another one.
That's why you're here. Vaughn Dillman, go to weedales.com. And, this goes all over the United States, Canada, ships at sea, Europe, everywhere else. And we can get T-shirts there, and you can sell your beer and the whole thing, and people can do it, right?
Jay, there was an interesting one. The city attorney, I've had over 1,400 emails, phone calls, and congratulatories over this, and not one has ever been negative except for the federal government. Now, from all over the world. I mean,
hey, who are you going to vote for?
I made
Vaughn?
front page of the L.A. Times.
Who are you going to vote for, buddy?
Who am I voting for?
Yeah.
Right now, I'm an independent. I'm really scratching my head.
No, but I mean, if you had to vote right now, who would you vote for?
For my wife.
Speech. You'd vote for your wife.
Yeah.
All right.
Aw.
Did you see the speech last night? He's going to give us everything, he said.
Well, yeah, he'll give us everything.
All right, there you go. Gee, I wonder who he's voting for. All right.
I don't want to send him a little weed. Hey, I want to let you know we got a weed bakery here, too.
Hey, do you have any future lines of beer coming out, like maybe Acapulco Gold or something?
No, I don't play with that. I really don't. I emphasize our town. I try to keep it on the straight and narrow. Our city attorney wrote the TTB a letter, and he said, the dictionaries of today cannot keep up with the slang. Please do not include us in that thought process. So I thought that was...
He wrote a letter to
That's
who?
a hell of a city attorney. I'd like to have that.
Wait a minute. Wait, he wrote a letter to who?
To the TTB.
They're the ATF, Jay.
Yeah, the ATF.
And he said, don't include our town when it's almost like saying you have a dirty mind, right? That every time...
yeah, that's your words, not mine. But when he came across and he said responsible members, should not want to portray their products in any socially unacceptable manner. And like Winston, the city attorney, said, we don't grow any vegetation, legal or otherwise, here.
Right.
Winston is his name?
Yeah.
Does he smoke?
David of Sacramento, have you ever... Now, Vaughn, I'm going to ask some people about your beer here, because maybe your beer is just a label. Let's see if it has anything once you...
I got a beer called Shastafarian.
Shastafarian? Okay.
I got a picture just sent to me from Ziggy Marlin, Bob Marlin's son.
Yeah.
And it says Unite. I sent them one of our shirts.
It's Marley.
Bob Marley, excuse me.
Marley, that's okay. David of Sacramento, have you been to Weed, California? Have you had this beer? Is it good, the Weed Ale?
I have not had this beer. I want to try it. And, yes, I have been to Weed, California. I'm a truck driver out of Sacramento.
Yeah. What's it like there?
It's a small town.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very small town. You go in and you come right out.
It's like sleeping with an Olsen twin. Okay.
Exactly.
All right. Well, listen, David, do you now this is what I like to do, Vaughn. I like to send people and they actually meet the people that we've had on the air. David of Sacramento's back and forth through Weed. Could he stop someplace and meet you at some point in the future? Where would David of Sacramento go to meet someone that's been on the Jay Thomas Show at Howard 101? Where would he go?
Well, Interstate 5, like I said, is our freeway, and the exit is the Jumbo Jet. It's 747.
No, he knows how to get there. How would he meet
right next
you?
Door to the College of the Siskiyous. It's a state-accredited college.
And you're there? You'll be standing behind the counter?
Every day.
Okay. Selling weed beer.
I wish you guys a happy Labor Day because I'll be working. I don't know if you guys are going to be working.
Hey, David, he didn't say it, but Vaughn is gonna give you a weed beer on us, or he'll let you sniff the cap.
I got some Mountain High.
And you've got some Mountain High? You sell that too?
India Pale Ale Mountain High, because we live on the side of the mountain at the elevation of 3,500 feet, so
Okay.
It's mountain high.
All right. Hey, David, will you go on in and say hello to Vaughn? Would you, David?
I bought a T-shirt last time I was in Weed, California, and it says I got high in Weed, California.
Are you operating a motor vehicle right now, David? Because you don't sound like you ought to be. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Did he sound loaded to you?
Hey.
He sounded loaded.
Everybody's got their own way of tone, right?
They sure do. Greg of Toronto, the Jay Thomas Show, the man who invented and selling weed beer, and what is it? Shasta Rafta. What is the other one that you have?
Shastafarian.
Shastafarian beer. Yes, Greg of Toronto, the Jay Thomas Show. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Good, thanks.
We actually have a beer marketed up here called Buzz Beer, and it's a hemp-based beer. I've had it, and it doesn't really taste too bad.
Buzz beer, and you know what? That doesn't have the same.
It's made out of hemp.
Yeah. What is hemp, by the way? What is that?
Hemp is marijuana without the good stuff.
That's the stem that all rope and all clothing and everything was made out of since up until about the 40s, I think. World War II, they used the hemp rope for their boats because it didn't deteriorate and it was exceptionally strong.
And if they got
bored, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Ben Franklin,
if they got bored, they could just smoke the boat.
They all had their little thing. You know.
Well, you know a lot about marijuana and its derivatives, don't you,
never
Vaughn?
Tried it.
Never tried it,
buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, you can't demean a California state senator. You know, I'll give you a quick rundown. The History Channel, 2 times, last October and last April, had a documentary on Americanus Carnivalis, and they defined where the word weed, actually the slang word, came from. And it was the guy before J. Edgar Hoover. His name was Henry Alsinger, and he was the one that everybody pushed to pass a law saying marijuana was illegal, and he couldn't believe it. He refused to do it for about 8 or 10 years, and he was crossing the Potomac River, just like Washington when he crossed the Delaware against the Brits in the 17th century in your history. Well, actually, Alsinger was crossing the Potomac River in a van or a bus, and he turned to his legislators and he said, "Do you mean to tell me we're going to have to chop all those weeds down over there?" And he pointed to the side bank, and it was full of marijuana. And that's where the word weed came from. So, you know, it's a
You mean in Washington, D.C., there was marijuana all along the banks of the Potomac?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and it grows wild along the freeways. Cows eat
it does.
And they wander out the road and get smacked.
They call it ditchweed.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad that I didn't have to sit through 2 hours of a History Channel show. I'd much rather go.
I loved it. It actually confirmed everything I needed to know.
Thank you for distilling that down to something.
Vaughn, thank you very, very much. Vaughn Dillman, go to weedales.com. I got it. A friend in weed is a friend indeed. Yes, Vaughn, go ahead.
Literature. Are you familiar with Ralph Waldo Emerson, one of the famous English poets?
No.
Yes, of course.
He had a saying. He said, "A weed is a flower yet to be discovered." I got that on the side of our flower.
You know what?
That
Vaughn,
guy was amazing.
If you're not a smoker, you ought to be. Okay?
Yeah, I was going to say.
All right.
You sticking with that story that you're not?
I tell you what, go through Weed, California. Say you heard about Vaughn Dillman and Weed Ales on the Jay Thomas Show. And Vaughn, would you give him a free bottle cap? I know you're not throwing the free beers out there like I thought you would, but a free bottle cap.
I have 2 cliches that I've coined. One is my bottle cap heard around the world, which is literally in France and Scotland and Germany, Saudi Arabia, Korea. I have gotten letters from everybody all over the world. And then there was a song, I don't know how old you are, but there was a song that said, "I fought the law and the law won." Well, I changed the wording to "Weed fought the law and weed won."
Boy, okay. Have you had a beer this morning yet?
You know what? The sun isn't even up yet, but it's almost there because the coyote stopped howling.
It's noon somewhere.
There you go.
Vaughn.
All right. By the way, you live in a small town when you know what time it is when the coyotes stop howling. Vaughn Dillman, thanks very much. Go to weedales.com. They've got the T-shirts and the whole thing. And
just
Vaughn,
remember, a friend in weed is a friend indeed. Try legal weed.
All right. There you go. Vaughn Dillman. There you go. Vaughn Dillman. Glad you won your case against the United States government.
So much for being on your show.
Okay, buddy. Thanks a lot. And tell Manuel, what's his name again? Marco. Tell Marco Noriega. Tell Marco, Lieutenant Noriega, hello from me, okay?
Oh, no, okay.
Well, he had to be something. He was in the Naval Academy. He was a lieutenant, had to be a lieutenant at least, didn't he?
Hey, he's a valedictorian. He's a hot kid.
He was the valedictorian of Annapolis, and he
dropped out his last year, and he graduated from the University of Maryland as a valedictorian.
Wow, unbelievable! So
all right. That
with a degree in weedology.
All right, hey Vaughn, thank you very much.
Happy trail.
Thank you. Okay, buddy. Wow, unbelievable. Weed.
Man.
Steve of Los Angeles, the Jay Thomas Show. Jill and Rodney Lee Conover sitting in today for Shuley.
Are we on the show?
Madison. You're on the show, yeah.
Can I just say, I think he kind of looks in this picture, he looks like the Juice Man. Doesn't he?
Who's
the guy that sells the juicer, sure.
Jay Kordich, yeah, he looks like the juice guy with the gray hair and the furry eyebrows. Yeah.
No, not Jack LaLanne.
You know he's selling something healthy.
No, not Jack LaLanne. That's my juicer, but thank you, Rodney. That's the juicer that I have.
Yeah. Is it Jack LaLanne? Yeah, that's who it is.
No. The juice man's another guy.
Oh, okay.
You know that I went on the juice diet. We had Jack LaLanne on, and he talks about everything else.
Yeah.
And I drank nothing but juice for 2 weeks.
Good,
and I gotta, you know what? All you do is shit orange water.
You know what though?
That's
you
all
gotta,
you do.
You gotta be reasonable about it. I have a Jack LaLanne juicer. All you gotta do is just half of a glass of juice and mix it up. Don't do the same, juice thing. Yeah. Because you're right, it'll start running through you like a goose.
Unawares, you'll be at a card store and boom.
That's right. You'll be at a card store and you'll have to go.
You'll be at a grocery store. You'll be picking out a birthday card and boom.
Were you ever picking out a birthday card and the juice hit
sounds
you?
like a
unawares.
You know what? And the card store doesn't ever have a bathroom that's available, does it?
Oh, no.
Did you get a leaker?
I got an orange leaker.
Oh, it was like when you had your period.
I went home, I made an orange cake.
And your mom, and as soon as you got home, your mom said, "She's a woman."
She's a leaker.
Yeah, a little party. Hey, Dad, I leaked today.
The other night, I jerked off in front of my wife, and I said, "Do I get a cookie and some sherry also? Could I get a little?" Let's go to Nathan of Maryland. Yes, Nathan, the Jay Thomas Show.
Hey, Nathan.
Rodney Lee Conover and Jill. By the way, Jill's quite a talent. She's not just here for her health.
That's right.
We'll play some of the singer and the kids stuff, right, Jill?
Oh, yeah.
Kids stuff. Nathan of Maryland, the Jay Thomas Show. How are you, sir?
Good. Yeah, I was just wondering why they gave him such a hard time. We have hemp ale in a distributor here in Maryland called Blue Ridge Summit, but they were the first ones to put out hemp ale, and it's just called hemp ale. I mean,
they don't care about hemp. They care about the word weed. It's the word. That's what he said, and that's what the city attorney said. I mean, and first of all, they battled this guy from February a year ago. So they battled him for, 8 or 9 months, and it cost thousands and thousands of dollars. I read about the story. The United States government sued the guy and made him stop selling the beer, and then he got an injunction from a liberal judge, by the way, I might add, Rodney. He got it was not a liberal judge said he could continue selling weed until they had decided. And the stupid assholes at whatever they call it now said that he couldn't sell it because the word weed will make people think that there was marijuana in the beer. That was the whole thing.
Isn't it ironic that they're arguing over a drug? I mean, alcohol's a drug too, isn't it?
Yeah, but they don't consider it a drug. It isn't made a drug. It's not. It's not.
It is a drug, though.
It is, but it's not called a drug.
But that's what makes it weird to me.
I don't know. We lie to ourselves all the fucking time.
If pot was legal, it would put the alcohol companies out of business.
That's not true.
I think it would.
I don't think so.
I think
Nothing like having a beer and smoking a joint, Jill.
That's right. They go hand in hand.
Yeah, they go hand in hand.
And then you take an orange shit and it's okay with you. You don't care.
That's right. Right all over yourself.
That should be illegal.
You know what? I was with Sean one night. We sat in our own pee for an hour. We didn't care. Remember that night, Sean?
Barely.
We were both pulling for Hillary Clinton to do something important, and we just sat there all night. All right. Thank you, Nathan. The hemp thing I don't get either. They're always saying that that's something bad. It's Phil of Chicago. Yes, Phil, the Jay Thomas Show. Jill is from Chicago. Phil, do you know Jill from Chicago?
I do. Can you hear me?
Hey, Phil.
Hold on a second. I was kidding.
How about them Cubs?
No, I do know Phil. This is the Phil.
Who is
Hey.
that?
The Phil.
Are you the ex-husband?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. I was the guy she used.
Yeah, were you the home wrecker?
No.
What do you mean?
I would not.
You mean
I would
you
never
would
do
not?
that.
No, he
Is this,
no.
is this
You're
your
the home
boyfriend?
wrecker.
Is this your boyfriend?
No, he's
Was this the guy
a
on the side?
longtime friend.
Yeah.
I'm the friend. Maybe Jay, you have one of these friends where you give advice to, and you tell them this exactly what they need to do, and they don't listen. That's Jill.
You gave her advice and she didn't listen to you, or she?
Were you
gives
doing that
advice?
scam where you were pretending that you were her friend?
No, he is my friend. He's been a
That's
friend
bullshit.
for a long, long time.
That's such crap.
And
You know
he's-
what? It's always been bullshit. It'll
That
always
is
be
such
bullshit.
a bullshit deal
It's
that'll
all
never
bullshit.
change.
He's
Yeah, and
friends with Madison as well.
oh well, that's easy. But the other being friends with you, I can imagine being friends with Madison and never wanting to get laid. But I have to tell you that. So Phil, why is it you're just friends?
Nobody could be friends with Jill and not be going out of
Yeah,
their
I mean,
mind.
you're friends with. Madison's always talking about getting laid all the time. Jill
Phil,
doesn't
you
do
never
that.
you never thought of Jill in an impure way, and don't lie because we
I like
tell
the word
truth here.
impure. I like that word.
The answer
I like
is
that.
absolutely I have.
Okay, good man.
Are
There's
you
not-
like
there's
ugly
no
or
doubt.
weird looking? Are you a hunchback or something?
No,
No, I'm not kidding. Are you really ugly?
No,
What?
I'm short and Jewish, just like you are, Jay.
I'm
No,
not
he
Jewish.
plays one on
I was
TV.
just kidding.
I play one on television, but I'm not. But you're right. Now, Jill, why is it? Here's the funny thing.
why did
you
you
look
fall
at
into
him and you
Phil's
don't
arm?
see anything sexual. You really look at him as a friend, and deep down inside, he probably wants you. Jill, do you have
Oh,
any
he
idea?
totally wants
Oh,
you.
no. I would say that Phil and I have had a few romantic moments.
Well, there you
Oh,
go.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what I
a-
said. Is he the home wrecker? And you
He's-
both said no.
But he was not the home wrecker.
Totally home
this
wrecker.
this came after the home was wrecked.
Yeah. Right.
Jesus, and you're calling a radio show in the morning, Phil? My God.
I'm an early riser.
I see.
That's what Jill told us.
So, Phil, what can we do for you?
I just wanted to just say hi, and that
You don't even know why you called, did you, Phil?
Jesus Christ.
You haven't figured it out yet.
I haven't really figured it out, but I do.
Call back when you figure out why the hell you're calling us.
You know, wait a second. Phil woke up. He went, "Hey, wait a minute! I screwed her," and he called up. Did you do that? Is that what you did?
That's exactly it. And I wanted to get on the radio and say, hey, I was behind that.
I
Hey,
was
Phil.
behind that.
Hey,
Oh,
Phil.
Jesus Christ!
Phil,
Yeah.
I don't know Jill.
I can't believe Jill.
I've
I'm
only
sorry
known
I
Jill
said
for
that.
2
Jill.
days.
I apologize.
But
I
did you
should not
ever
have said
look
that.
deep into Jill's eyes and think maybe you had a long-term shot with Jill?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And the reason why we're such good friends is because she's been married for the years that I've known her.
Mm-hmm. So if she was single, you would have gone for it?
Without a doubt.
Oh,
Well, she's single. She's single.
As you know, Madison.
Yeah, but different city now.
Madison has
Madison's-
a face for radio. Jill has a better face for radio.
All right. You know what? With that, I think
That is really not something you should have said.
we're going to move along.
We're all going to get in trouble.
By the
for that.
way, Madison's already spent close to $300,000 of her parents' money on therapy. There's another $300,000 coming. It's the Jay Thomas Show at Howard 101.
Howard 101.
It's the Jay Thomas Show.
Call 888-STERN-101.
The Jay Thomas Show.
On Howard 101.
She's whacking him.
She's hitting him in the head?
She's
Okay.
punching him.
Hey, the Jay Thomas Show. Rodney Lee Conover is here, and Jill, who writes children's songs and has already exposed herself to us in a number of ways, including having to have a bowel movement at a card store, in case you just joined. The show already in progress. Let's go to Ray of Nebraska. Hi, Ray. It's the Jay Thomas Show. How are you, Ray? Ray of Nebraska. Yes, sir.
I wanted to mention about there's a drugstore in Iowa right outside of Missouri. It's called Stone Drug. They've never had any problems. You can buy T-shirts from them and on the internet and everything else.
And you wear a
grew up-
T-shirt that says Stone Drug, and you get like a big laugh out of that. People look at that and they go, "Oh, God damn, where'd you?" Like, I mean, it's
They
a
go
big
crazy
laugher.
over those
It's
T-shirts.
a big nutty laugh.
Well, the people that originally owned the place, I guess the guy's grandfather's was last name Stone. And so they just put it on the building, and it stayed there for, since the turn of the century.
Mm-hmm.
They sell more T-shirts than they do pharmaceuticals out of the drugstore.
You know what's funny in California? That we have grocery stores where they sell food called Ralph's.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of funny.
I thought that was funny, too.
Only in California would you sell food at a place that don't throw up.
I never ever thought of that.
The number one choice for bulimics.
Yeah.
Is Ralph's. All right. Do you have a Stone Drug T-shirt, Ray? Do you have a lot of T-shirts? You wear a lot of T-shirts with sayings on them?
Different ones, but no, I personally don't have one.
Have you ever been to the J. Thomas website where you could buy any number of T-shirts?
No, I can't.
Would you wear a T-shirt that said, "It's a mess down there"? That'd be a funny one. Don't you think?
We do have that
T-shirt.
T-shirt.
That? Big laugh, Jay. Big laugh.
We have that T-shirt.
And you could buy a thong for, if you have a woman in your life.
Yeah, you can buy underwear, and it says it's a mess in here, I think. It's a mess down there. So.
Yeah.
All right, Ray, thank you. The Stone Drugstore in...
Oh, he was about to tell us an interesting story about his childhood. Where'd you grow up?
Well, I grew up in Council Bluffs, Iowa, in Pottawatomie County. You try to put
I was wrong, Jay. It's not that fascinating.
No. Well, listen. When you go out of the country and put down, go to Canada, and they you got to put your address and everything else down there.
That was a mistake on my part, Jay. I'm sorry.
What's that again?
Pottawatomie.
Pottawatomie is P-O-T-T. Try going out of the country with customs and everything else, and they see that and say, what kind of ordeal is you Pot County?
Yeah, and
they think they spell pot with two T's in Canada. Is that the deal?
No, the abbreviation for Pottawatomie was P-O-T-T.
If the abbreviation for Hawaii is hi, so you could say hi.
That's right.
There you go.
Ray, thank you very much, Ray. Thank you.
That was my bad, Jay.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. It's almost like the guy when he said the History Channel, I said, holy shit.
I knew we were in trouble.
Get the Somonex or whatever it is. Get the No-Dos. We're in trouble. Mike of Pittsburgh, the Jay Thomas Show. Yes, sir. How are you, Mike?
How are you doing? Great.
Mike, any fascinating shit about your childhood?
Yeah, no. Hey, Mike, is your wife's name Weed? Is that what her name is?
Yeah, my wife's maiden name is Weed, and I met her about 20 years ago.
Wait a minute, I was kidding. Your wife's... Her last name?
Honest to God, my wife's maiden name is Weed. And
what's your last name? Nickelbag?
Dimebag.
Dimebag. It's Dimebag.
But, and actually, when we met about 20 years ago in college, and I had never smoked weed, and she was the one who got me to smoke weed for the first time in my life.
You smoked weed, the marijuana, or her?
Actually, both kind of, I guess you could say. It was a good experience, and it was such a good experience, I've never stopped. So, it was great.
Have you ever eaten weed?
I've eaten weed many, many times.
You ever gone down on weed?
Oh, man. Now, why didn't you take her last name?
Have you ever pounded weed all night?
Why didn't you take her last name? What's your last name, Mike?
What's your first name? Is it Mike?
Mike Weed would be
Mike
your name.
Weed.
Yeah, what's your last name?
Smith.
Oh yeah, that's a winner.
Yeah. Why didn't you take her last name? It's a lot more interesting than I'm sure your last name. Huh?
It is. I don't know. I'm just a traditionalist, I guess.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I always say that these last names drive me nuts. There is a woman that writes cookbooks, and her name is Linda Gassenheimer. And
that's like my plumber, Mike Leakey.
You have Mike Leakey as your plumber?
Yeah, Mike Leakey is my plumber.
I want you to go online right now. Garrett, you can do it. Rodney, you can do it. Type in Linda Gassenheimer. She is an award-winning author of cookbooks. She's on the friggin' cooking channel all the time. And when she says her last name, I go, "Are you?"
You just start laughing.
No, you're fucking stupid. Your name and they act like it's a normal. It's like normal name.
It's like my doctor.
What's your doctor's name?
Dr. Fingers in Your Ass?
No, it's not.
Yeah. I'd change my name if I was
mix and match meals in minutes for people with diabetes with Dr. Gassenheimer.
Are her specialties 3-bean chili and bean burritos?
It sure is.
Yeah.
The portion plan, how to eat foods you love and still lose weight by
How to sneak out a fart at a dinner party?
how to squeeze one out and no one knows it.
The silent but deadly dinner party.
Right, that's the one.
How to make a sauce out of an orange shit is another one that she's got. How to make a delicious orange. Destin of Louisiana.
Party food for your first period.
We're gonna go down to Destin in Louisiana. We mentioned this earlier. Hurricane Gustav is heading for New Orleans, where I have a home. My brother, my entire family is still down there. Now, you have an unusual name, Destin, because Destin is one of the greatest Florida cities that
It is a great place, Destin, Florida, with the white beaches.
Why are you named Destin? Because that's where your parents
were they
conceived?
screwing on the beach?
Yeah, when I was 13, my mom finally told me that's where I was conceived.
You're very lucky your name isn't Sand in My Vagina.
Exactly.
You know that? Because you could be that.
Or it could be weed the way it's going.
This is my son, Sand in My Vagina.
Yeah. So now you're in Destin. You're in Louisiana, Destin.
Yeah,
and I called everybody last night. They say the levees are not going to hold. You're all going to drown and die. And then the Republicans have decided that they might have to postpone the convention in Minneapolis.
Would that be a shame?
I don't know if it's a shame or not. You know what? The odds of them canceling that convention, I think, are
0 to none.
Are you kidding? Yeah. They've already paid for the rooms. They've already got the hookers lined up. There's no way they're canceling.
Oh, no, it ain't.
What's the weather like right this second in
right now? It's
Louisiana?
Starting to rain right now. I'm in Houma. I'm sure you're familiar with Houma.
Yeah, my mom is from Patterson.
Yeah.
Houma. It's the name of an Indian.
I don't think that's...
It's about
Houma
40
Indians.
miles further south than New Orleans.
Right. Now, Destin,
this guy's got the accent and everything.
He's got it all. Destin, are you going to evacuate, or are you one of those ones that likes to stay back in your shanty?
If you evacuate, make sure you're not in a card
I'm
shop.
tying up all my business stuff, making sure all my business is locked down and all.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to fly out later on today to Dallas. There's no way I didn't stay for Katrina, and Rita was even worse.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the water, because like 20 miles from where I live at, they had 16 foot of water in the houses.
Did you ever consider moving permanently with all that?
Well, where I live at, I'm 20 foot above sea level, so I've never had water. Been here since 72 and never had any water. But the first time I do, I'm going to get out of here. But
now, my house is an old from the 1870s, and it's been through, I don't know how many, 100 hurricanes or whatever. We've had hurricanes forever.
Yeah,
when did we become such chicken shits down there? So we fucked one up, okay? We fucked one up. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen.
Couple dead bodies. What's the big deal?
Nothing's going to happen. By the way, right or wrong, the crabs from eating the dead bodies have been delicious this year, haven't they? The last couple
a little extra spicy.
They really are, though. That's not a joke. The crabs have been unbelievable in Louisiana. Am I wrong about that, Destin?
I'll tell you what, the seafood, the amount of seafood compared to the years before is amazing how much it rose, what they were bringing in.
They say that it's been eating on dead people and animals and
2,000 dead bodies just where you from.
Yes, that's right.
And we got a couple.
Do the crabs taste like that Chubby Checker, or what's his name?
No, Fats Domino.
Fats Domino.
They taste like Fats Domino.
It tastes a little bit like Fats Domino.
All right.
Well, I hope all those people in New Orleans got out this time.
Me
and
too.
not did like last time. It looks like.
Now wait a minute. The storm is still like 600 miles away. Isn't it like in Cuba?
The water's already coming up, Jay.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah. The tide is coming in. It's already 5 foot above. I'm sure you're familiar with Chalmette.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of property out there, inherited from family, and the water's already on it. So, down by Shell Beach, it's not if.
It's crazy, isn't it?
I don't care.
I don't understand it. How did we live through hundreds of years of hurricanes, and all of a sudden these hurricanes are completely fucking us up? I don't get it.
Because we ain't got no marshland left. We ain't got nothing to stop the waves battering in. Now it's hitting directly on, like Shell Beach, which is 10 miles away from Chalmette.
Mm-hmm.
So it's coming straight through.
So we're fucked again. We're fucked again on this one.
I think this is going to be 10 times worse than if it hits anywhere within 100 miles of New Orleans. I think it's going to be bad. Because, you know, the Corps of Engineers, you seen what they did, putting paper in the levees.
They did what?
They stuffed paper in the joints of the levees where you live at.
I'm not aware of that.
It was all over the news. They got caught red-handed.
Why didn't they use concrete?
They were supposed to, and they ran out, so they would take a newspaper and stuff it in between the joints of the levees as they were putting the levees back up.
You cannot write or make up the shit that people do. And the Corps of Engineers are from all over the United States.
Jay,
so as soon as they come...
look on the internet about the paper story. I mean, they got caught so bad that even that crazy ass on Fox went nuts on them. Bill O'Reilly.
But wait a second.
And they couldn't answer.
But when you get to Louisiana, you're a normal person, and you've lived your whole life. You put concrete where you're supposed to, and you get there, and as soon as you get to Louisiana, within about 3 months, you're a drunk or a whore or a criminal. As soon as you arrive in Louisiana, have you noticed that?
They should put that on their brochures.
They should put it right on the state seal. Yeah.
Well, it looks like it's a little change in tide with our new governor. And he's not doing what this last governor did. I mean, he started evacuating New Orleans day before yesterday.
Wow.
A mandatory evacuation. I mean, he's not playing around.
Well, when you get to Dallas, give us a call. I hope this doesn't happen, but boy, I did not know.
I hope nobody ggets hurt and all of that. But you got to take the precaution after what happened with Katrina. It didn't even hit New Orleans, and look what it did. It hit Biloxi.
All I care about is my rental.
Well, then why do you never hear about Biloxi?
Oh, Biloxi looked like a bomb exploded.
Yeah, I know, but you never hear about it.
You know why you never hear about Biloxi?
Because they got out.
All the gambling money in the world.
Because I'm not from there. That's why you never hear about Biloxi.
No, you know what it was? The governor was a Republican. And Bush gave him everything he needed to put that place back together quick.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hey, Sean, give Destin a gift, would you? For saying that the reason that the Biloxi got more than we did in Louisiana. They're not stuffing shit with paper in Biloxi, are they? They're using...
Man, Biloxi looks like mini Las Vegas now.
Thank you. Weekend. Sean, give Destin something for saying that. Fucking governor.
Congratulations, Destin of Louisiana.
Now, he may die in a few days, so hold off on mailing it.
Yeah, I won't.
Are you going to Dallas?
Yeah.
Okay, well, he'll live. He'll live. Go ahead.
Out of here.
All right.
The Secret Life of Raymond Burr hiding in plain sight.
There you go. It's about Raymond Burr, who was a gay man.
It's a book.
It's a book. You'll be able to...
How sweet of you, Jay.
There you go. Remember, on the Jay Thomas Show, even when you're a winner, you're a loser. Okay?
That's it, brother.
Thank you so much. Good luck. I'll talk to you later. All right. Man, oh man. Now, you know what? Garrett, I have to apologize to you. I don't know where we are in this. This isn't, where are we? Do we stop? What do we do?
Where are we, Garrett?
This is a good time to break. We have a guest coming up.
We have our guest coming up. This is our addiction half hour, Rodney. In this half hour, I have a guest on who's addicted, and then we'll talk about David Duchovny. Jill, we will play your music, your little song. I tell you what, as we go in, do we have time to play a little bit of Jill's song before we go into this next?
Sure, like the little cue thing I did.
No, you've talked about you talked about. Okay. We've said the word shit today. We've said the word period today. You've sent people to your website, JillShitsOrange.com. We've sent them to your little website, but you write children's songs, and that's really what you do, isn't it?
I do, yes, and jingles, and I just wrote for a children's CD that's coming out.
She's written them. What do you have?
There's I Love Maracas.
Hold on a second. I love maracas.
No, to the tune of La Cucaracha.
Okay.
I love
now,
maracas.
You've never done children's theater. You've never done children's theater, have you? Children's theater?
Way back in the day, yes.
I hate children's theater more than anything.
I know.
I hated going to it.
I like it, Jill.
I hated when I went with my kids. All those people, Morgan Freeman was on the Electric Company. Did you know this?
Oh, I
remember.
And he
said that when he was on there, he wanted to kill himself. He wanted to commit suicide because he had to get up there and do all this children's shit. And kids are so stupid that you could show them anything. I don't know why they produce all of that. How about fucking Barney?
Oh.
Would you not like to drop him with a bottle of barbecue sauce in the Sudan and have that fucking thing eaten by somebody? Let's listen to Jill's song. What's the name of it? What's the name of it?
This is just a little snippet, I think, from my jingle website. It's about, a toilet cleaning product.
There you.
Since
it's a
we're on that theme today.
It's a commercial.
It's a little commercial.
It's a little commercial. Let's
called
listen.
Clean John.
Oh no! This toilet is filthy!
Don't worry, ma'am. Clean John is here.
Clean John! My hero! No one cleans like Johnny can. He's the cleaning man. No one cleans your toilet better than John. Oh, Johnny!
Well, what a talent.
Every 31 minutes, someone is killed. There you have it. There you have it.
Does it say everyone 31 minutes, everyone has to go to the bathroom? Is that what the commercial
Every 31 minutes, Jill has an accident in a card store.
Well, I'll tell you, you're more talented.
A really good voice.
You're more talented than I.
Don't you think she has a good voice?
Oh, fabulous.
Did you hear that?
That's great. Unbelievable.
Are you making fun of her?
I'm not. It's the Jay Thomas Show at Howard 101. No, it's wonderful.
You're listening to The Jay Thomas Show.
Call 888-STERN-101.
We're back with more of The Jay Thomas Show.
Jay Thomas Show.
On Howard 101.
It's the Addiction half hour of the Jay Thomas Show at Howard 101. Shuley and Madison are on vacation, separately, of course. Jill is here. You just heard that incredible commercial that she did for some toilet company. Go to givemeajingle.com, find out more about Jill. And
it made me want to go to the bathroom.
It sure did. And Rodney Lee Conover is here. Go to bachelorman.com. Find out about him. And also, jthomas.com or jthomasshow.com. And we sell the T-shirts that seem to sell quite a bit, filled with hate. Obama, the comic.
Do you know what the guy at the Hallmark card said when Jill walked in?
No.
He said, it's a mess down there. You better... Because she was leaking.
Get Off My Lawn by John McCain is another shirt, and of course the famous It's a Mess Down There T-shirt, the Jay Thomas Show. Let's go. You go to collegefootballfan.com. Steve, is it Corrivo? How do you say your last name, Steve? Corrivo. Steve Corrivo? Corrivo? Right. I can barely hear you, Steve.
Oh, okay.
There you are, right there,
Better?
Steve.
Okay, yeah, it's Corrivo.
Yeah. This is our addiction hour. It's our little portion of the program where we bring somebody on who has a strange addiction. Okay?
Is it
so
strange?
Steve,
It's definitely an addiction. It's definitely an
you do have an addiction, and I happen to be a football fan, but you were way past. Rodney, can you guess what Steve's football addiction is? What is his football addiction? Do you have any idea?
I bet he's addicted to college football.
Are you addicted to college football, Steve?
Yes, you can. I guess you can say that.
And so you're addicted to college football,
and
in a way that makes you addicted to what? You watch college football all the time. You can't stop watching.
I go to a game just about every weekend, and for the last 30-some years, I've created a goal over that period of time, which I accomplished this last season, of seeing every 1A college football team play at least once in person.
Now, 1A, are those the big schools? Or
that's the big schools. That's right now they're up to 119, and they are at 120 next year when Western Kentucky joins.
It took you 30 years to see every single Division 1A team play. That's how long it took you?
It took me that long by choice. I mean, in the beginning, that wasn't the goal. And then you got to kind of pick and choose your spots when teams are available. You know, hey, I'm a working guy. I got a family. I got a wife, which people can't believe, and who's self-proclaimed Saint Laurie, and why let me do all this stuff. You know, in the beginning, as I'd go to different games, various venues around the country, mostly in the Northeast. You know, teams would come in. I've got Penn State season tickets with friends. I go down to Annapolis. I go up to West Point.
Have you ever seen you've seen LSU play?
One time I've seen LSU.
So what you do is you've picked teams. So 1A means like the Pac-10, the Big Ten, you have to go to all of the big independents and all of the big league games. That's what you do. All 1A stuff. And there's 119 of them, right?
Right. I've seen them all. And
you've gone to see Duke play football.
Yes, I've seen Duke play football.
Who did you see Duke play?
I saw Duke play Rutgers twice.
And they got the shit beaten out of them.
No, as a matter, well, no, matter of fact, there were two close games, and in one particular instance, Rutgers only beat them 7-0, and of all people, Steve Spurrier was the coach. And when I looked up the record, that was only one of 2 times in his career he'd ever been shut out.
So we're going back. He hadn't been the coach at Duke in 20 years.
Exactly. Well, like I said, I've been doing this basically since 1979.
And so you will fly all the way across the United States to see what, Oregon play, or you only go when they are close to your house?
Well, it was a combination. Up to about 2000, that's when I finally did a little analysis to see how far along I really was.
Right.
And I looked at it, and I was putting together my schedule for that year. And with Army being in Conference USA and UConn joining the 1AA and a couple of Penn State games I'd be going to, I realized I'd be seeing 9 new teams play that year. So I thought, well, how many have I seen altogether? With those 9, I'd be up to 68. So I thought, what would it take to see all 119? So I got a little bit more serious after that. You know, I'd see who's coming into the East Coast. I'd go down to see Oregon State play at Temple. I'd see Stanford play at BC. But then I'd also say, okay, between frequent flyer miles and connections I have in different parts of the country, where can I see this particular team player? When can I see that? So I've been out to San Diego State, to Fresno State.
You go by yourself?
Not all the time. Once in a while, but a lot of those places, for instance, down in Texas, I had a college roommate I hooked up with. My brother lives in Long Beach, California. Got friends out in Burbank.
Do you wear a special shirt that people ask you while you're there? Do you have like a shirt that says something of your addiction?
Yeah, matter of fact, I've got 2 football jerseys, one in red and one in blue. And it's with the jersey number 119 on the front. And it says, see them all. And on the back is my website, collegefootballfan.com.
And what kind of money do you make doing this?
I don't make any money doing it. I've got a few ads on the website, and that's about it.
And your website is
collegefootballfan.com.
I got it. And your wife thinks this is okay?
She's tolerated it. Well, I said back in the, back when I started doing this back in 1979, I didn't know her, of course, back then. Then we started dating years later. And when we got married, he said, I've been doing it before I knew you, and when we dated, it's not going to stop after we get married. So she's tolerated it.
Jill, would you ever marry a man who goes to every football game? You leave on Friday and you come back on Sunday night. Is that how it works?
Not all the time. Sometimes, they're fairly local. Like I said, right. I can drive up to West Point, and matter of fact, she's going with me tonight. She and my daughter, and she's gone to games with me out in Colorado, out in California, Las Vegas, the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. So she's had some nice side trips as well.
Right. Jill, would you?
Actually, I think I would marry a guy like that, but I wouldn't go to the games with him. I would say, go, honey, have a great time, and I would just do whatever the heck I wanted to do.
Well, a lot of times my wife likes to go to the game, but she doesn't go in the game. She'll hang out in the parking lot and continue to tailgate.
What about when you see two teams that you absolutely hate, and the game is like 50-0 at halftime, or do you sit for the whole thing?
Yeah, my goal is it doesn't count unless I stay through the whole game.
But who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah.
I guess basically I do.
So you sit from the first kickoff to the end of the game, and you've been doing it for 30 years, and you've done 119, and you just keep going for the rest of your life? You're just going to keep doing this?
I guess I think that thing that'll slow me down in a couple of years is when my 13-year-old son starts playing high school ball, and of course in Jersey we play a lot of Saturday games, so there'll be a little bit more difficulty in continuing to do this for a while.
Have you been to that blue field in Boise State?
No, but that's where I am right now as far as if anything, I want to go see certain stadiums I haven't seen games at before, and that would definitely be one of them.
And what do you think you've spent in 30 years doing this?
I've got to guess, a couple thousand a year maybe, and that's based on gas and parking and tickets. But I'll be honest too, I've done pretty well with tickets. I've come across tickets in some unusual ways, and I've been invited by one school in particular to come out to see their game. They put me on the field. It was the University of Colorado. I got to meet Ralphie the Buffalo. I got
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You actually got to meet
Ralphie the Buffalo.
Ralphie the Buffalo. Did you hear that, Rodney? He met Ralphie the Buffalo. Rodney?
The mascot.
I love the commitment.
Is that the mascot?
Yeah, what's the mascot of the Cubs have a mascot? Rodney, would you
Hell
love
no.
to? They don't have a mascot. Do the Bears have? Is there a bear that jumps around? They don't have a bear.
The Bulls have Benny the Bull.
Yeah,
Benny
I
the
hate
Bull.
that.
You'd like to. And now, by the way, this is Steve Corrivo. Is that how you say it?
Right.
All right. Go to collegefootballfan.com. He's watched each of 119 college football teams in the bowl subdivision. Why do they call it that? That's the stupidest.
I kind of agree. I always liked it was so much easier saying 1A or 1AA.
Yeah. Or like big schools is what I.
Yeah, big time schools.
Who's the loudest stadium? Who with all the stadiums? What's the loudest stadium?
University of Georgia.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Right. Has anybody ever vomited on you there? That's I went to one game at Georgia and everybody vomited. There was just vomiting.
No, I didn't get vomited on. Once at Virginia Tech, though, my old grandmother was carrying a tray of nachos down to her grandkids, and some Rossi knocked it out of her arms into my lap. And that's about the closest I've come to that.
You've had a grandmother put nachos in your lap.
Yeah,
that's
basically, yeah.
Who has the hottest? Who are the hottest college women you've ever? You went to a school and you couldn't believe how hot they were.
2006, North Texas State girls dance team.
You know it just like that. 2006, North Texas State has the hottest women of the 119 that you've seen.
Here's my question. I'm not sure he's so addicted to the football. I think he's addicted to the women at the football games.
And the hot nachos in his life.
Exactly.
North Texas State, what town is that in?
Denton, Texas.
And the women were fabulous?
Oh, the dance team in particular, I noticed that, yes.
See, we're getting to the core of the addiction.
The best tailgaters. Best tailgaters. Where do you...
Well, Penn State. I mean, I'm a season ticket holder up there, and definitely, I mean, they're into it, and I'm up there a few times a year and have some good times up there with a lot of good friends.
Steve is addicted to going to college football games. He's done all 119 of them. You know, we had Bill Curry on the other day.
Right.
On my afternoon show. He's now the coach of Georgia State in Atlanta.
Yeah, that's a new 1AA school. I think they just started up the program down there.
So he hasn't gone into your league yet, right?
Right.
Okay, so you
but I do enjoy going to see what we'll call the 1AAs too. I mean, I think that's fun football to see.
Do you cheer? Do you, like, let's say you go to see Wake Forest play, I don't know, Tennessee. You could care less about either one of those teams. Do you cheer? Do you pick a team? Do you wear a shirt?
I usually I do pick a team generally because just get into it. Depends on the fans around me and stuff. You know, pick up on their vibrations and so forth.
You pick up on what, the vibrations?
Yeah, the electricity in the air, I'll say, whichever way it's going. But just to get into part of it. A lot of times too, I'll root for the team for the upset. You know, I'll look forward to seeing something like that, which I haven't seen too many. But it makes it kind of fun in that respect.
Why wouldn't you just go into the student section and then cheer for the other team? Why don't you make it interesting?
Well, it'd be interesting for me. I don't know how those kids would feel having somebody like their father sit next to them cheering along with them. But
you don't like to. I mean, I like to ruin a person's day. It kind of makes me feel good. I mean that. I liked.
I probably get thrown out of the student section.
No, Rodney and I went to a Bears game, and I was the only Saints fan at a big playoff game. And he can tell you that before it was over, we were lucky to get out of there alive.
Oh.
But Rodney, it buoyed me. I loved being yelled at and screw them and everything else.
You do love that.
I do love it. And I love when people are so excited about something and then I ruin that day for them. There's something that's fun to me. And Steve, I want to tell you that and don't knock it until you've tried it. You get back in your car and it's just so much fun to have ruined somebody's day when you were kind of bored. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I understand what you're
saying. Okay, all right.
So, Jay, you are the piss in everybody's Cheerios, basically.
You know what? There are people, when I watch the people wringing their hands about how great Obama was and everything else, I find them stupid. I don't know why. I find people that worship people or think they're great or go to fucking meetings, and I just find them dumb. And I like to ruin their day. I've been like that since I was a baby. I was the only baby crying in everybody, the other kids would be like asleep and I would be crying. And when all the other kids started crying, I would fall asleep. When I was born, I did that. That's the truth. That's the truth. Kevin in Florida, the Jay Thomas Show. Steve Corrivo has gone to all 119 games. He's addicted. Yes, Kevin. Kevin in Florida.
What's going on, Jay?
I'm good.
Hey, man, Ashley from Alabama. I was asking, wanting to know if he's been to any games at Bryant-Denny, the University of Alabama Stadium.
No, but I've been to Legion Field twice for 2 Auburn, Alabama games back in the, I think it was 79 and 80 when Bear Bryant was still there, of course. And I've seen Alabama up here at Penn State as well as in the Meadowlands.
All right.
I got you. Legion Field's shitty. That's a bad experience.
Yeah. Well, I'm also like got to your chagrin here. I've got my best connection in the SEC is at Auburn.
All right. Thank you.
Well, gee, you know what, Steve? I could listen to you all day talk about football. Wish I was sitting next to you. We're flying cross country together.
Yeah, a couple of beers, right?
Yeah. Steve Carrivo, go to collegefootballfan.com. Addicted. Hey, did you hear about this David Duchovny, Steve? He's a sex addict. You know the actor David Duchovny?
Yeah, from the X-Files.
Yeah, that's why you're on the show. You're the only addict I could find on such a short notice.
Couldn't get him, huh?
We had some drug addicts that we wanted to get on, but they didn't want to get up this early, with us. So it would be hard for you to be a sex addict and then try and see all these football games, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I guess it would be, but that's why I get to, watch the cheerleaders of anything.
Have you ever been hit on by a girl at a football game?
I don't know. I have to say last year I was with my son at a game in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
There were a couple next to us that were poking him in the arm, but the trouble is I guess they found out we were rooting for Penn State at the time and they left.
So they turned against you.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Steve. Good luck. And you're going to watch them again, and you'll have another T-shirt with 100 and
I got to put 120. Got to put 120
on it. All right.
Right.
Thank you, Steve. There you
all
go.
right, Jay.
There you go.
All right.
Addicted. There you go. Addicted. You know what I'm addicted to?
Bad guests.
That's right. That's what I'm addicted to. They don't all turn out well. James of Cincinnati, boy, that was good, wasn't it? I had my little addiction hour, and I bring the guy on that's addicted to football. Was that exciting or what?
I guess so, if you're a big football fan.
No, I just thought it was stupid that he did that. That's all. That's
a lot of money wasted to go see games, and you can just
I could feel the fucking energy. I felt as though I'd been shot, and the blood was, and there was no plasma left at the hospital, and the blood was just seeping out of me. So that's it. So.
I wanted to call in and thank you for being on Friday mornings. I work alone in a building, and I listen to Sirius.
Wait a minute. Well, you're in a building by yourself.
Yes,
doing what?
I build custom cars for a living, and I'm in about a 6-bay garage by myself all day long.
What's your favorite muscle car?
Mustang.
What year?
You
like the fastback?
I like 66 fastbacks, but
I knew you were a fastback guy when you called.
You kind of grow up in a family, you're either a Chevy guy or
what
Ford
kind of
guy
engine is in that? What kind of engine? The Cobra?
Yeah, I'm a big Cobra Shelby
I knew
guy.
you were a Cobra guy when I started talking to you. I said fastback Cobra, buddy. I knew that was you.
I've had multiple, about 12 to 16 cars.
Manual shift?
Yes, always.
Oh, yeah.
Why are you
I
by
knew
yourself?
This guy was.
Why don't you have other people in the
Cobra
room with you?
Fastback.
You don't need any help or anything? Why are you all by yourself?
I just, the company that funds me, I had 2 helpers, and I kept on going over and doing their work.
Yeah, you
over
didn't
and
need
over
them.
and over, and
Screw them.
They pretty much said, fuck them. You can do the whole job yourself.
You ever put yourself on the lift and just go up and down, just have a time
No,
limit?
I don't have the lift. I wish I did, but I do do stupid shit and
give me an example.
Stuff
give me an example.
Let's see. I painted my Sirius unit the same color as the car that I'm working
That's
on now.
crazy.
You're a nut. You're a
nuts.
fucking nut.
I mean,
Yeah,
this
crazy.
is the
I should have interviewed you instead of the
This should have been
football
the guy,
guy.
right
You
here.
can't get real crazy. I mean, I'm in a building that has chemicals that can blow up at any time.
Oh, that's
I inhale isocyanates all day.
Yeah,
It's
you know what? You polyisocyanate. You know what we need? We need to have a reality show like American Chopper. You know what we'll call it? Mustang Boy.
But he's just by himself.
Well,
And
that's the
there's
brilliance
no one
of it.
around to yell at, and
Yeah.
you talk to
Well,
yourself.
I've had many things happen. I had a transmission fall on my shoulder, and I laid on the floor for 2 hours before I was able to get up and go across the street for help.
What was it? A manual transition? Was it a 4 on the floor?
Yes, it was a Tremec
Just 1 on the floor,
out of a
you.
race car. It was very painful. I've caught myself on fire many times welding, and I'm sitting here screaming. And
Wait a second.
He runs around on fire.
Don't you have like one of those? What are like the old people have? Like I've fallen.
Like
Yeah.
I've fallen and I can't get up. Yeah.
A transmission fell on me and I can't get up.
Do you have a life alert that you could call someone?
No, my life alert's just my lungs. I just yell.
I know, but I mean, you need to get a life alert. What catches you on fire while you're building these cars?
I pretty much build them from scratch. I weld all the panels up. I do all the paint work. I put them together.
I know. What catches on fire? You weld
a welder.
something?
Well, 2 weeks ago, I caught my pants on fire. I was welding, and it caught the bottom of my pants on fire where they were frayed, and my leg was burning.
Did you? Do you ever get a request that just sickens you? People say, "I want a '72 LeSabre," something like that.
I work for a company, and they're filthy rich, and his children have each a car of themselves. Like right now, I'm doing a 1960 Impala, and his son is 22 years old, and he thinks it should have 24-inch wheels and a sound system that you can hear it from space, and thinks he came straight out of a rap video, and he's
you know what you should do? You know what you should do? You should build the car exactly like he wants it, but then put one of those Get Smart ejector seats in it and say, "This is for the bass boom," and then just shoot him right out.
I got something better. When the kid starts the car, it fucking catches on fire, James. That's what I would do.
You know how to do that, don't you, James?
You're good at that,
That's
aren't
what
you?
I'd like to see happen,
So you're by yourself, and then the radio is there in this big.
Radio's your friend, isn't it?
And it's right there.
I listened to Howard Stern back when he was on normal radio, probably since I was out of high school or skipping high school.
Did you hear that Jake Normal radio?
And then I listened to Bubba at night in Cincinnati, but he disappeared. And then as soon as Howard switched over to Sirius, I immediately switched over.
And who's your favorite on Sirius? Who would you have to say is your favorite show?
He's the loneliest fucking guy in America. Who's his favorite?
I get my news and my daily stuff from Howard.
James.
Yeah.
Jay Thomas show.
Yeah.
Hey, James, who's your favorite of all time on Sirius?
That's the whole reason why I called.
You know what, James? This is just a little more interesting than the football guy.
James is way more interesting than
the football guy didn't catch on fire.
Yeah,
he had hot
James
nachos
around
in his
on
lap.
fire.
I feel on Friday mornings I get my common sense and my knowledge from Jay, and then I get
Sean Kelly, what do we have?
You
for
are
the guy
lonely.
building cars by himself, catching his ass on
Yeah,
fire.
you were
Sean,
dissing
what
him
do
a
we
second ago,
have?
Jay, weren't you?
Sean, please pick something wonderful. Pick something. What do we have? He's by himself, Sean.
And I like your new guest.
Make the book. Okay, hold on. Make the book not flammable, Sean. His name is James. He builds
James
cars.
of
An autographed fire
Cincinnati.
extinguisher.
James of Cincinnati. Congratulations. Damaged Care, the musical comedy about health care in America.
There you go.
The CD.
The CD about health care in America.
Now, you're going to need that, James, next time you catch on fire.
So enjoy that. It's the Yes?
I already got my prize. I got through on the phone and got to talk to you guys. I tried to call like 4 or
You're a
5 Fridays in
lonely,
row.
You are
lonely
so
man.
lonely, but we
you're
love
so
you.
happy that somebody's here to talk to you.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's keep James on the line since he's so lonely, and we'll have him help us with the rest of the show.
If we need help with like a Magnum
we'll go
engine
right
or
to
something, we'll
hey,
go right to James.
could you light something on fire before the show is over?
Yeah,
perhaps?
have an accident.
No, I haven't done a damn thing this morning, to be honest. I've been listening to your show all morning.
Okay, good. It's the Jay Thomas Show at Howard 101.
You're listening to The Jay Thomas Show.
Call 888-STERN-101.
We're back with more of The Jay Thomas Show.
Jay Thomas Show.
On Howard 101.
Love to shop. I shop till I drop. I go from store to store, trying on clothes galore. When I'm not shopping, I get the blues. And I think I need a new pair of shoes. I get my earrings from Lou's, and my makeup from Sally's, my dresses from Sue's, and my purses from Allie's. I love to shop. I shop till I drop. I go from store to store, trying on clothes galore. Boy, I look stunning. Gee, I look swell. Don't you think this suit fits so well?
Did you you write this song, Jill?
I did.
One of your
did
kids'
for
songs?
her, yeah.
Is it a little kid song?
She was 10 when she sang it.
Little 10-year-old kid teaching her how to shop. And do you give classes to teach these little horrifying children how to sing and overact and do Annie and all that shit?
Oh, sure, of course.
What is the name of your company?
It is called The Lesson Connection.
The Lesson Connection?
Yes.
Is it in New York City and Chicago?
It's everywhere. It's thelessonconnectiononline.com.
I don't want to make fun of it, but the parents bring the little children and they want them to be stars and stuff, and they teach them to sing and dance and everything.
Oh, absolutely. And then I take them into the recording studio, or my teachers take them in, and
that's wonderful.
Yeah,
that's just wonderful. The what is it called? What?
It's called The Lesson Connection, and it's thelessonconnectiononline.com.
And the parents sit there, the mothers sit there and wait for the little child to come out a star. Is that how it works?
Pretty much, but most of my teachers travel to the home, and so it's a chance for the parents to let their kids be, and they go off and they shop and do whatever they need to do. Yeah.
All right. I can't stand children actors, but I'm sure that the two kids that I mean it, who are, as far as I'm concerned, are dangerous, and as soon as they are wiped from the face of the earth, is the Olsen twins. They were not talented. They could not sing. They couldn't act. That show, My Two Dads, whatever it was absolutely awful, and they are worth $1 billion.
Full House.
Full House. What is it? Full House? Mm-hmm.
Full House. Oh, yeah.
They're worth $1 billion, and one of them has helped kill Keith Ledger, right? What did she have to do with that death?
Oh, we're not sure.
She owned the apartment.
She owned the apartment?
Yeah.
Well, she didn't help kill him, but she gave him the place where he decided to kill himself, right? Mm-hmm. So the thing is that what I don't get is that they're not talented. It's like I don't get why anybody would give a shit what the Olsen twins are selling. They have a book coming out, Well, and by the way, I don't mean they helped kill. They weren't even there when Heath Ledger died, so I don't mean they helped kill him. But she's withholding evidence, or she wants immunity or some shit.
She certainly was an enabler, letting him live in that apartment.
Let him live in that apartment. But then again, she's a landlord, for Christ's sakes, So I guess you can do what you want.
She should have known when she rented the place to the guy
Heath
what was going to happen.
Well, we have to be careful because, when you're worth $1 billion, they could sue us forever.
If only she made him go to alcohol treatment.
If only
last week's guest, yeah.
Little girls loved them, though. They had their videos, they had their movies.
But
they're
not talented.
They had everything. It didn't matter. They dressed cute, and little girls looked up to them, and
they were like two monkeys, as far as I was concerned. Two little, ugly little monkeys, and they look like skanks now, both of them, and they're worth $1 billion, and it sickens me.
You're jealous, Jay. You're jealous.
I'm not jealous. I am not jealous. But that $1 billion could be spread out over many more talented people in Hollywood than those two. And it's like, if I never see them on another magazine cover again, and they can't act, if they could act, if they became actresses like other child actors, did, it's fine. And is it their fault? It's got to be your fault at some point when you realize you're not talented and you keep fucking doing it.
Their wealth should be spread out to other bratty, untalented
kids.
children.
Exactly. That's right.
Exactly. They're hogging it.
And by the way, I don't know anything about them with Heath Ledger. As far as I know, she just rented him the apartment. Don't know if he was an enabler or not. Everything I read was in the newspaper, and I don't know if any of that is true. So I just thought I would say that.
Unsubstantiated.
Garrett, when you laugh like that and you make the apology, it doesn't help. Okay? It doesn't help. But I don't think the Olsen twins had anything to do with the death of Heath Ledger. Do you, Rodney?
No.
There, you're right. We do not think they had anything to do with it, and I'm sure that they'll be found to be absolutely 100% guilt-free. Okay? They did nothing. And I still think they're fucking worthless. But other than that, I think, let's go to James of Cincinnati, who's by himself in this big garage. James, have you ever watched those Olsen twins act?
I can't stand them girls.
You hate them?
It takes two of them to weigh what a normal woman should weigh.
That's a good
they
line,
look disgusting.
actually.
They look like crack addicts.
Now, you see, you can't say that, James.
Okay. Well, they look very sickly.
They're short. They're only about 4'11". They can't weigh more than
like
90 pounds.
26 pounds.
You could have your own radio show there, James. You would just start broadcasting, and then you'd work on the car, and you'd talk about the car, and then they'd probably give you a show here. That's a good one. You're in a room. You're very quick because you have a lot to think about when you're by yourself, don't you?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I'm here for about 10 hours a day, so yeah.
All right, James from Cincinnati, who's working on cars and who catches himself on fire while listening to Sirius Satellite, is our normal listener today.
Hey, James, what car are you working on today?
1960 Chevy Impala.
Wow.
And is it going to be like a lowrider? Going to make it jump?
Sort of. It's going to be kind of a retro.
How do they do that? Make them jump like that?
It won't jump. It will just have airbags. It will lower itself down, but it won't hop.
Oh, how do they make it hop? The ones that hop?
It's got a hydraulic cylinder that runs fluid, and then you got a big jug of it in the trunk, and you press a button, and all the fluid runs to the cylinder, and it pops it up.
Now the big question. Why the fuck would you want your car to jump like that?
You got me. I thought there was...
Now, wait a second. Yeah, I live in California. A guy that you know has never made more than minimum fucking wage, has his head completely shaved, wearing the fucking pants that don't fit and the shirt and the whole thing, and is a gang-affiliated individual, and he's got the car, and it's hopping, and the music's coming, and you know it costs thousands of dollars, right? Where do you get? Do they just pay you in cash because it's all gang drug money? If I was a cop, I would arrest every one of them as soon as I see the gang member hopping down the street. I'm throwing their asses in jail.
I used to work at another place, and I had to work on an old car for a guy, and I was looking at underneath the floorboards, the rust, and there was a gun underneath the seat. And I told him to take the gun out and put it in his pocket. Because I wasn't going to work on the car with guns.
Are you ever putting one of your high performance parts in one of them cars, and you ever find a big bag of coke in there?
I've never found coke, but I have found bag of weed several times.
What'd you
do?
do?
Do you turn it into the owner, or do you?
Most time, I just leave it there. I don't touch it.
You catch that on fire?
I just see it, and I just keep on going.
Hey, I caught my bag of weed on fire today, Jay.
I caught my leg on fire. It lit the weed on fire.
Yeah.
That's why
I couldn't do anything else but inhale.
I have found certain things. I found a huge diamond ring in a door once.
Oh.
And I told the people, and it was the wife, and she had lost it and never told the husband and bought a fake ring. So she didn't want him to know. And she cried and was so happy.
Was she grateful? Was she grateful, James?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Grateful.
All right.
Oh, yeah. I'd say a lot of people feel that.
What was your reward, James?
Nothing.
She gave you nothing.
Don't lie. We tell the truth on this show.
James of Cincinnati is working on cars by himself. His only friend in the world is Sirius Satellite. And and every few moments we'll go back to him. David Duchovny has announced, it's in the headlines of all newspapers. It broke last night. He has entered a rehabilitation facility. He was seen surrounded by bodyguards and his publicist. He had the sunglasses on, pulled the hat down, and his attorney was with him. And he says that he did this voluntarily, and he is asking for respect and privacy for his wife and children as they deal with this situation of his sexual addiction as a family. His publicist confirmed the rehab report, and so he has the lawyers, he has the bodyguards and all. I would think that if I were sexually addicted or whatever, and my wife and I were talking about it at the house or whatever, I don't know what that is exactly. I guess you have to get laid all the time. I would just go, why wouldn't the therapist come to your house? Why wouldn't you be able to go to somebody's office? Why in the hell would he want to?
I can't believe you're falling for this. I mean, the man has a
falling for it.
Yeah, that's what I said, falling for it. The man has a movie that just bombed. Right. He's got a show that, other than Garrett thinking about it, no one really pays attention to. Garrett doesn't.
Californication.
He thinks about it a lot.
I've heard a lot about it.
Yeah. A lot of gay banter, but no watching.
Do you have Showtime, Garrett?
No.
But you know about the show. Too expensive.
I hear that at least 2 hot chicks are naked on it every episode.
The girl from The Nanny is naked on it.
Yeah.
Now, do you know what we're doing today, Jay?
What?
We're talking about David Duchovny and his television show. Do you understand?
Right, see?
Do you understand what everybody's doing today?
Get out
They're
of here.
talking about David Duchovny and his television show. Don't you get it?
And all the hot women on the show.
Yeah.
That's what's
Exactly.
happening.
And he's talking, he just happens to be a sex addict, and he plays a sex addict, and there's naked chicks on his show, and everybody in the media is what do you suppose the ratings are going to do for Californication?
I guess
this
they'll
week?
go up. I don't know.
What do you suppose the subscriptions to Showtime is going to happen this week?
Well, he
Besides
said
Garrett?
privacy of my wife and children.
Right.
To deal. I mean,
what
he
is
would-
that guy? But don't you get it?
Well, I guess you're right, because, I needed some publicity this week, and if you pick up People magazine at any newsstand, you will see my entire family and the immense discussion of my illegitimate son, who in People magazine, it says Jay Thomas on his Sirius satellite show is heard to say, "my little bastard," or something like that. So
Now, how far away are we from hearing a story about Jay Thomas becoming a sex addict?
Well, here's the thing. If I wanted to get laid all the time.
Right about contract negotiation time.
But wait a second. What would be, let's say I want to get laid like a sex addict is 4 or 5 times a day. He has to have sex, right?
Really?
Yeah. And he has to go out and he
I
has
thought
to
it was
have
just once a day.
No, he has to have it all the time. He has to go out.
So you
and
think he's going outside of his marriage?
Yeah, that's what it, and let's say he's
doesn't say that.
No, it does.
Maybe it's internet porn.
Yeah, maybe it's just masturbating.
He checked into a facility. They put him
Maybe
into
you should check with his mom to see if they've had a party recently.
But no, I think sexual addiction is you leave the house like a drunk, and you're going to go, get a pack of cigarettes, and you come back 3 days later, and you've been on a bender. You've been on a vaginal bender. That's what I think it is. You think I'm kidding you?
Bender over.
And the only reason why I'm saying this is I know a guy whose name you may or may not know, but I worked with him, and he was a sex addict, and he would leave the house, and he would have to get laid, and his wife eventually divorced him because she got a disease, and the doctor said this is too much stress and all that. And he went to therapy and all of that, and he talked about it all the time like it was a real disease. And of course I laughed, and he got all pissed off. And that's what it is. And this guy with an entourage is, what would the cure be for sexual addiction? What do
I
they
don't think
do?
there is a cure.
James of Cincinnati, you're alone working on cars all the time.
Yeah, I like the sound of a vaginal bender. That sounds great. I didn't think you
He
couldn't,
said bender, not fender.
No, I said vaginal bender. When you go on a vaginal
James
bender.
thought you said fender.
It sounds like a desperate cry for "look at me." It sounds like there isn't really a problem with David Duchovny.
Exactly.
Project Triple X Files is what it sounds like.
Hey,
Project. I gotta tell you what, James of Cincinnati.
Whoa, that was a good one.
You may
he just
get
had his own bit.
It's unbelievable.
Triple X Files.
He brought his bit.
I mean, what would be a better way to look cool and look
especially when you play a sex addict on television.
Right. All right. Okay.
I can't believe you're falling for this.
I'd like
crap.
to point out Rodney wrote Bachelor Man, and he's a bachelor. Maybe a little coincidence.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. I'm an incurable bachelor.
I wrote a movie once called Adventure Kid. Adventure Kid, about a little boy that goes on adventures.
Is that a movie about giving away a son?
No.
No?
No, you know what the name of that is? Far From the Tree. It's a movie of the week.
Far from the tree.
Like the apple doesn't fall far
Yeah,
from
we get
the
it.
tree.
We get it. We get it.
Okay. Jack of Savannah.
You don't got to explain it, okay?
Jack
you don't
of
have to explain a cliche.
I have, you know what? I do. I have a thing called Sex Twice a Year. I have a new book coming out. I have a new addiction.
It's up to 3 now. It's horrible.
If I get laid the third time, I'm over the top.
Yeah. Then
I'm
you
over
run
the
out of
top.
juice. Yeah.
You know what they do? They put a rubber band on your balls. I'm just reading about what they're doing to poor
I do
David
that sometimes
Duchovny.
just for the hell of it.
They're putting a rubber band on his balls. Yes, let's go to Jack of Savannah. Yes, Jack, he's a sex addict. What's your definition of sex addiction, Jack?
Well, never mind that. What do people do once they get caught doing something? They go to a rehab to absolve themselves of, well, he got caught.
Right. It wasn't his responsibility. That's what.
Caught duping the teenage
Yep.
babysitter
Exactly
cheerleader.
what
That's what he did.
Hold
End
on a
of
second.
story.
Wait, Jack, you can't say it without, we don't know this, never heard it. You've read that? So you're just saying you think that?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just typical response to anybody. They always do the rehab thing.
Yeah.
It usually staves off jail sentence, or in this case, a divorce. He doesn't want to leave Taya, but, you know, let's face it, show me a hot chick, I'll show you a guy who's tired of fucking her.
Right, James?
Hey, Jill, it's fun over here, isn't it?
It's great.
You need to
love
sing
it.
some little girly song for that guy.
Hey, James, you getting a lot of work done today?
No, that's Jack of
I'm
Savannah.
talking to James.
Oh, James? Yeah, James.
Yeah, I'm getting tons of work done. I'm
Yeah.
holding this chair down.
All right.
By the way, I know Jill's husband, by the way, ex-husband.
You do?
Yeah, he told me he divorced you because your pussy stinks.
Jesus Christ. Jack, hang up and get out of here. Hang up. Go away.
Oh,
Sorry.
my.
I like
Sorry.
stinky pussy.
That's harsh.
All right.
That's
God
so
forbid.
funny because I just wrote a book about that.
Was that a children's book?
I have a children's book, but I have a stinky pussy.
Yeah.
Now listen.
Mommy has
I'm
a stinky
also
pussy.
thinking, if I walk down the street and I want to get laid 5 times a day, that's difficult. But if the company wants to get laid 5 times a day, it's
He could
probably a
probably
lot
do it. He could probably do it.
So you can only have
Do you
this
think
disease.
he would ever get tired of strange women sleeping? I mean, does that get old?
Can I be honest? And I really will be. I remember when I was on television and the radio and everything else, and I was single, and I was going around the country doing regional and dinner theater and all of that. I got laid so much that I literally got tired of it. You're right.
Did you really?
can't. I absolutely did. I knew that when I went out, I was going to get laid to the point where I would try not to get laid, and you knew you were going to get, and as soon as you don't want to get laid, you're going to get laid.
Oh, yeah. Then you get laid like crazy.
Jill, have you been through that where you went through a sport
Yeah,
fucking?
but all women are like that.
Well,
all women can get laid whenever they want.
Yeah, but you get tired of it?
I was married for so long, so it's a brave new world for me up
Oh,
there.
you're just opening. You're just moving into that area.
Exactly.
Are you going to write a children's book?
I still
about
have
that?
the rubber band on my balls. Otherwise, that would help you. Yeah, they caught me.
Look for Jill's new book, Mommy Got Laid Again.
Yeah. I love the way the asshole says that and then just hangs on the phone laughing.
Yeah, and he just laughs.
Daddy's a sex addict.
Yeah. So, all right. I don't know who to go to next. Mike of New York. Yeah, the Jay Thomas Show, Mike. David Duchovny. Rodney thinks it's a promotion. Jill, you're probably right. No, somebody's probably right. He got caught doing something. What I don't get is, why wouldn't they just have the therapist come to the house, or he would go to some office or something? Why would you walk out in the street and admit yourself to a hospital to do what? Not to stay in a room and not get laid and you sweat? Do you think it's going to be like one of those movies where the guy sweats and he's in the straitjacket till he gets over the need for vaginal juices, Mike of New York?
No, you know what it reminds me of? It almost reminds me of a boxer in training where he's not supposed to, have any type of sexual activity so many days or weeks prior to the fight.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, it sounds like total publicity, because who in their right mind, unless you're a big egomaniac, which I don't really think David is too much, but would put that out.
Do you know him personally? You called him David. You know him personally? David.
I don't know him personally, but, I mean,
You feel as though you know him when he does a character. You look at the screen, you go, that's my David.
What he's saying is, in the past, this guy has not come out and been a big egomaniac.
It kind of reminds me of the bureaucrats that get elected to office and just make up these BS laws just to justify their position. I mean, give me a break. You mean to tell me that because, and I'm not saying this is the case, this is nothing against women, but if he's at home and he's not being taken care of by his wife as many times as he wants, then wouldn't you not expect him to go look for it elsewhere? And getting a comment on the whole strange thing, there's nothing wrong with a piece of strange at any point in time.
Are you married?
Strange
are
is
you
good.
married, Mike?
I am married, but I think.
Is your wife there near the phone? Could I speak to your wife?
No, she's probably home sleeping, and
She's at home right now?
That's what you think.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you shared
know where
this?
she is? She's at David Duchovny's house.
Have you shared this with your wife? Have you said, nothing wrong with getting a little, honey, wake up. There's nothing wrong with getting a little
strange. I can honestly say that
Really?
I look at my wife as probably the most beautiful girl that I've been with every day.
Wow.
Is our libidos at the same level? Definitely not. But the point is, if you don't take care of the kid's going to go get it taken care of. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
It's very true.
I worked next to Tia Leone for about a year. Did a show. I never met her. but she's about 6 feet tall, and she's kind of like a tough woman. And the way I can say it is, you know, women that smoke and when they pull on the cigarette, you know, when they really, you know, pull on the cigarette, it's like a, you know, like that. And I just remember looking out of my dressing room window going, man, you know, she's gorgeous and all, but I couldn't handle that. It was too, she's tough.
You don't like strong women.
Yeah, I don't mind strong women, but it looks like, you know, you'd have to deal with that, like.
Yeah. You'd have to deal with her
I don't think she's thinking about, she's not looking at herself as a sex object. I think she's looking at herself as, I don't know what. I don't know.
Human being.
I think David Duchovny should maybe go with
Hold on a
James.
second. Hey, Rod, thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks, man.
Jill, you were
Go
saying?
ahead, Jill.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe rehab could be working with James in Cincinnati, blowing off some body parts.
Sure. You could just,
Just
Light-
set
you know
some
what?
body parts on fire.
He should go get customized by James. Maybe James could light his dick on fire.
James,
And
you're alone. You're alone there. Do you ever just stop in the middle of the day and relieve yourself of?
Do you whack it in other people's cars?
No, I got a pretty
In the
hot
back
girlfriend
seat.
at home, so I'm pretty lucky.
Do you ever build a car and you say, "I've got to come on the fender"? You ever do that?
Do you ever invite the girl over and have sex in the backseat of strange cars?
Oh, that's hot.
All
That
right.
might be
but
cool.
my girlfriend brings me lunch sometimes, and I bang her here in the shop.
Oh, you do in the car?
Where do you bang her?
Usually over on the table. I make sure it's clean and stuff.
On the table? Well, where the tools are? Does she ever find metal shavings in her ass when she gets home?
I'm kind of short, so I have to stand on a crate too. So it's kind of funny.
Oh man! All right, look.
Does she call you the Cobra when you
We
give it to her?
we need a picture of your
Yeah,
of
we
your work
want to see you
environment.
have her
Yeah.
bent over the fucking
All right.
tools.
Here's another thing, and then we're going
Do
to
you
end
call her
this
your
thing.
little snap-on?
Here's
I'm kind of clumsy
She calls
too,
you
and
craftsman?
I have fallen.
You're clumsy and you've fallen off of the crate.
I have been in the middle of sex with her and fallen and hurt myself.
There's just no stopping you.
Jesus, James. All right.
Oh.
You never lit your girlfriend on fire, did you?
I think
No, I
also,
haven't set her on fire.
as I've talked about this, I don't think anybody gives a shit about David Duchovny.
Well,
I think
everybody's
he's
talking about it.
We do
Well,
now.
I'm talking about it, but it's like he
For an
announces
hour
it.
we've been talking about it.
Yeah, but it's not sad. It's like a drug addict is sad, or somebody has a nervous.
It's really ballsy to say I'm addicted to sex. I mean,
Somebody said it earlier best when he probably got busted doing something wrong, and now he's trying to take the political way out. Look at me, I'm getting help before I get busted for doing something really bad.
I've
Or
always
he
thought
just flat
whenever
out-
Robin Williams goes into rehab, he got caught. I work with him, and I guess maybe that's the deal. I think that, but the public announcement of this shit just goes to show you that if you're in show business, you gotta let everybody know everything you do, good and bad. And I've never understood that. I would do everything I could. I would say, okay, I'm addicted. I got caught. I'm in real fucking trouble. Could we get the therapist to come to my house dressed as a air conditioning repairman or some shit and do my therapy in the room here? I don't know why. I wouldn't tell anybody. I wouldn't announce.
That's not true. I mean, you're announcing to the world that you have this kid that you gave up when you were young. You're airing your dirty laundry everywhere because it's good for your career. Be honest.
Yeah, but I wouldn't air an addiction. I wouldn't do that.
What's the diff?
It's also a beautiful story.
Thank you.
It really
It
is.
is a beautiful
It
story.
is.
You know what's an even
Have you
more
ever
beautiful
fallen in love with a man who gave away his child?
Me?
Yeah, it's a beautiful story.
Well, he wasn't talking to me.
Not
Bill.
yet. Not yet.
It's a gorgeous story.
Maybe
It
he was
is.
talking to James.
That's
yeah,
right.
I haven't done that. Sorry.
Okay,
All right,
thanks.
there you go.
You know what's even more beautiful story?
What?
Is James giving it to his wife. They're bent over the tool
Falling
And he
off the
falls
crate.
off of the crate.
falling off. It's beautiful.
Yeah, all of
And he
it.
falls. You know what? He gives her the old torque wrench.
Let's go to Chuck of North Carolina. Chuck, the Jay Thomas Show. Rodney Lee Conover is here. Jill, who writes these children's songs. And Jill, plug your little thing again, your little company.
Oh, yeah. I have givemeajingle.com and thelessonconnectiononline.com for music lessons.
Maybe
on
that
your own.
asshole that called earlier can bring his lovely family, and they can learn how to sing. Okay? Don't you know that's a lovely dad? Yeah, Chuck in North Carolina. Go ahead.
We talk about the sex addicts. I'm an attorney, and I work with a friend of mine who's also in the office as well and is an attorney. He tells me, well, first of all, we kind of have freedom to come and go as we please in and out of the office. I mean, nobody ever says anything. You simply tell them you have appointments or whatever. No big deal. I noticed he would have an appointment once, even twice a day sometimes away from the office. So one time we were having a beer very recently, and he admitted that he was a sex addict. He's married, and he would meet these women from the internet and then go have basically rendezvous with them almost every day.
How many times a day?
A couple times, once or twice.
During the work day, he's trying to be an attorney. He goes and gets laid and then comes back and he does lawyer stuff when he comes back?
That's right. That's absolutely right. So
how did he do? How was he when he got back to the office?
Yeah, it sounds like a fun life.
His performance is, stellar. I mean, there's no issue there.
I don't see what the issue is anyways. It's just sex. It feels good. It's free. What the fuck is wrong with it?
Wait, why did he, and you, did you ask him, where do you go? Did he have to tell you or he wanted to brag?
He kind of wanted to brag, but I got the good part coming up. I don't know what the definition of a sex addict is. I think it's up to someone's individual interpretation. However, he decides to go to a Sex Addicts Anonymous. I'm from the Charlotte area. He goes, they're in the phone book. I mean, it's just amazing. So he goes and gets laid. The other people are sex addicts too.
That's all like right. The show.
Wait, I bet that's a wild meeting.
Well, I'll tell you.
He continues to do it.
Chuck,
Can you imagine the meeting?
Chuck, do I know you from Charlotte?
No, I don't think so.
We don't know each other. Okay, you never defended me in anything.
No.
All right, Sean Kelly. What do we have?
Can you imagine the meeting? You raise your hand.
Yeah.
I'm Dale. I'm addicted to sex, and everybody jumps up. Me too, and all of a sudden they're naked in the middle, rolling around.
Well, first of all, you have to tell stories at Alcoholics Anonymous or Drugs Anonymous. You have to tell a story about something that happened, how horrible it was.
Yeah, and what do you do when you're a sex addict? Do you have
graphic?
Is it like Penthouse Forum every day?
Yeah.
What?
I was on a crate in my little car shop.
I was rebuilding a 72 Impala. The next thing I know, I'm giving it to the tailpipe.
After my girlfriend came, I put my dick in the exhaust pipe, and I mean, either you're dying laughing or your pants are wet the entire time. What do we have for Chuck of North Carolina, Sean Kelly, whose partner went through sex addiction and got laid? Go ahead, Sean. What do we
Congratulations.
have? What do we have?
How I Helped O.J. Get Away with Murder by Mike Gilbert. It's a book.
He's an attorney. No. Is Mike an attorney or he's just a creep? He was just a creep. He was a friend of O.J.'s. All right. Chuck, enjoy that, how O.J. helped him get away with murder. Stay where you are. It's the Jay Thomas Show. And we have a guest for you next. Okay, Jill? It's a beauty guest. Okay?
Oh, all right.
Little beauty guest coming up. It's the Jay Thomas Show. It's Howard 101.
Guitars get real crazy in a hotel room.
Howard 101.
It's the Jay Thomas Show.
Call 888-STERN-101.
The Jay Thomas Show.
On Howard 101.
You like a rock star.
That really is my son, JT. And if you do pick up People Magazine or go to people.com, there's a heartwarming story of how he was given up and came back, and he's with my kids and his brother and all of that. You'll love this one, Rodney. His brother, after his parents adopted him, it happens. She was able to have a baby, and so 9 months later, she has this biological child of their own. And his brother Lance took the People magazine last night that has his picture in it and took it to bars in San Diego to meet women and showed it to people. Would say, I'm in People magazine, and showed it around the bar. I wish he would call to tell us how that worked out. I don't know. I've never done that. Well, you're in a magazine and you just kind of have it with you. You show it to people. What are you reading? Well,
myself. That's a good idea.
Yeah. By the way, we were going to have a guy on a fashion kind of I don't know what what did I say? Health? No, what did I say? Anyway, we don't have that guy.
Foot guy.
The foot guy, yeah. He lets the fish eat the skin off the feet. We're not going to have him right now. We're going to do it later. He heard the show and decided not to come.
His publicist heard it.
He didn't want to do it. Let's go to Ira's weather. Ira, the weatherman, is here. That's right. Big weekend, by the way. Not just for weather.
There's no sun up in the sky.
Yes, Ira, the weatherman.
Must be nighttime.
Stormy weather.
Ira and I have been friends for many, many years. He is a psychic weatherman. Let's go to James in Cincinnati, who is fixing a 65 Impala right now. 60, and the radio, the Sirius satellite, is his only friend when his girlfriend is not there.
Is she coming over with lunch, with quote-unquote lunch today?
On a table?
No, not today. She has to work all day.
James, I got a song for you.
No, weather. Give him the weather of Cincinnati.
Okay, weather in Cincinnati, it's going to be around 75 degrees.
Oh, well, it's chilly. It's cool. Cool.
Yes.
Any rain in that area?
A little bit of rain today.
Any fire?
But otherwise, it's
Fun.
going to be really, really beautiful over the weekend.
Is there a chance of flames in where James
This
is?
storm.
No.
This Gustav is.
Gustav is going to New Orleans.
Oh, you mean it's going to hit New Orleans directly?
New Orleans.
And it's going to destroy the
They're
city?
going to be having a lot of rains.
That's when the hurricane comes in. It'll be a lot of rain.
Winds and rains.
That's what the hurricane is?
Yes.
Gustav. The name of it. How do they name the hurricane?
Gustav.
I know. How do they name that? How did they figure that out?
I don't know how they name it, but they name it.
They just name it. They just give it a name?
Isn't it like they do stars? The first person that finds it in the ocean or whatever gets to name it? Or does it go alphabetical order or
they
something?
don't do it that way.
Hey, James, don't fuck with Ira, my friend. That's not correct.
Yeah, buddy.
That's not correct. You mean a guy named Gustav found it, so they let him name it, James? I don't think that's correct.
No, that's not true.
No.
It's alphabetical. You know about cars. You don't
It's
know a thing about fucking
alphabetical
weather.
that they do.
Stick to
It's
cars,
alphabetical.
James.
All right,
Stick
what
to
song
cars
do you...
and fucking. All right?
What do you... Yeah, and falling off of a
Crate.
And lighting
crate.
people on fire.
Yeah, all right. Okay. Did your girlfriend keep moving and ask where you went? That's another funny one.
Do you put her on the scope? You know how you put a scope and then you check the spark? Do you ever check your girlfriend for spark?
No, I haven't done that one.
Okay. What is your song for James?
I was asking Ira.
James, I got a song for you.
Here we go.
I'm just a lonely boy, lonely and blue. I'm all alone. There's nothing to do.
There you go. All right, now it's a big weekend for you because every year for many,
You
many
gonna pay
years,
the penny slots? He's playing the penny slots.
you
this
have
weekend?
worked
Yes,
for
I
the
do.
Jerry Lewis Telethon, have you not?
Yes, I do.
And you're one of Jerry's main guys. What was it like when you first met Jerry Lewis?
Well, I was very, very happy to meet Jerry Lewis.
Mm-hmm. And you've worked for him how many years?
I've been working for muscular dystrophy for the last 30 years.
Are you ever afraid you're going to catch the disease when you're there
You
working?
can't catch any disease.
How do you know that?
I know this.
I don't ever go to those things. They always say, I give money, but I'm afraid I might catch something at the, No. I dated a woman that said she was completely cured of, cancer down there. And I said, well, sure you're cured, but could be catching.
Hey, Ira, what was more exciting? Meeting Jerry Lewis or when you met me?
Meeting you and Jerry Lewis.
Yeah, but which one was more exciting?
More exciting. You, Rodney.
Oh, thanks.
Rodney, when you come up to the city, you are invited to the Seven Seas restaurant.
Jesus Christ.
They're going to give you a cut rate.
Great.
Hey, Ira.
Yes.
You think you can volunteer for not this weekend? I know you're busy, but in 2 weekends we're having a telethon for Sex Edition. Do you think you can man?
Hey, that would be a great telethon.
Man,
could.
Yeah, okay.
David Duchovny will be
And
there.
Man the phones.
Yeah.
And
All you
James
sex
is going to be,
addicts.
we're
Hey,
gonna
James
cure him.
of Cincinnati, thank you very much. I'm glad you listened to us.
Thanks for having me on. I
Oh, it
appreciate
was really great to have you there in Cincinnati. Let's hear it for James of Cincinnati. Who was our regular listener, called up and said the only friend he has at work for 10, 12 hours a day.
Yeah, and then we find out that he's banging like a madman.
Yeah, he has the girlfriend come over, and he's a little short guy, and he has to stand on a crate. Okay, thank you, James of
All right,
Cincinnati.
see you guys later.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Ira, you answer the phones this weekend, and you raise millions of dollars. And
Yes, I will.
is Jerry Lewis a nice person? I've met him once. He was nice to me, but there are some people that say he used to be mean. Was he ever mean to you?
No, he
Never
has
ever.
not.
Never been me. Did you know him when he was all puffed up? Remember we got a blew up there for a while?
Oh, yes.
What was that he had?
Well,
he looked like a blowfish. What happened to him?
He was taking some pills which didn't agree with him.
Can I tell you what happened to him?
What?
He caught something over there.
He caught muscular dystrophy.
No, he didn't catch that. He caught something.
Thank God he cured himself.
I would bring one of those antibacterial wipes with you if I were you.
He did very, very good.
Okay. Well, you have a great time this weekend, Ira.
Thank
You've
you,
been
Jay.
doing it for a long time, and you're great.
Jay,
Jill, go to
and Rodney.
We're the best. I know.
And
we're the great.
everybody
and
have
Jill.
a beautiful Labor Day weekend.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. Jill, go to jingleme.com. Is that right?
No. Not
Give me a jingle.
Give me a jingle.com.
Give me a jingle.com. And then
the
other
Lesson
one?
Connection Online.
The Lesson Connection Online. Go to bachelorman.com for Rodney. And my website is, I still have the rubber band on my balls.com, to fight sex addiction. For Sean Kelly. Sean? I think the goat herder did a great job. The goat herder's son did a great job last night, okay?
He did. Great
a great job last night. And Garrett Andrich, Art Sears, and his little niece, Ashley, or whatever her name is, helped bring the guest. This has been the Jay Thomas Show at Howard 101. Oh, my God. That ought to hold the little bastards for a while.